going on? Your favorite podcast is back for our weekly episodes, The Champions Corner. My name is Lonnie. You know me as the historian. Of course, we got my buddy, the professor. What's going on, professor?
Hey, how's everyone doing today?
And then got my boy Ron G, your favorite host, Mr. Highlights. You know what, man? Maybe you should highlight that bit a little bit. Maybe not. I don't know, bruh. But you know what I'm
Oh,
saying? We
nah,
should.
nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing none of that. I already got the grades coming in there. That's enough.
Hey, 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 it's good. We're happy to be here. Thank you for joining us on all our social platforms. Right now, we are live on YouTube. Don't forget to jump to that chat function and talk to us as we're doing this. But what a weekend we've had of professional wrestling. Actually, what a week we've had. You know, there are times in the business where things happen with the fans. You know, they really don't like it and they make their voices heard. Some may say that played out. Some may say it was a work. So as you can know, we had AAA and WWE Worlds Collide. We've had SmackDown, obviously. Of course, we had Money in the Bank, but we also had Ron Killings, aka R Truth, aka FKA, K Quick, come back last night at Money in the Bank. And in our chat function, I was like, I felt something big was gonna happen. I'll tell you later what I thought it was gonna be. But he came back, and then I heard after he, hit John with the title, he was like on his social platform, not a work. But we also heard what Triple A said at the post show. We're going to get into all of that. It was a great weekend of wrestling. I think everybody, for the most part, was pleased with what we saw. I think it's going to be a wonderful show today. What do you think, fellas?
Oh, yeah, definitely. I can't wait to talk about it. I'm pretty excited about Money in the Bank and the outcomes of what happened, and ready to kind of get into some speculation of how these stories play out moving forward.
Ooh.
Yes, sir.
What about you, Mr. Highlights?
Hey, I mean, one of my winners of the Money in the Bank got there, but the other one, nah. We'll see. We'll talk about it.
Was it yeah? No? Okay. All right, I guess we have to find out. We have to find out. We're gonna get into all of that, but let's go ahead and start it off of how the weekend. Of course, we know we had SmackDown, which kind of led into the weekend. We saw the final things there. We saw some pretty hot action there. The one thing I kind of want to start off with that particular piece. We're not gonna spend too much time on SmackDown because we got a lot to get into, but I kind of want to talk about something that's going to be in the future. And that was the fact that the King and Queen, of the rings coming back. And of course, this time for Night of Champions, they're announcing already that, hey, the winners of those particular tournaments, respectively, will get title shots at SummerSlam. Now, this seems to be an annual thing going on right now. But before we get into that topic, I want to add another piece to it. We saw a promo with Jade and Charlotte. Brian Saxon asked Jade, what's this beef with you and Bianca? Like, why are y'all kind of like, at it right now? Why does it seem so different? You know what I'm saying? And so, but then Charlotte intervened. So my question to you is that, is Jay going to win Queen of the Ring right now, you think?
Uh, it's very possible. I just got to see who's all in this thing, because I mean, it was talking like it was something new, like the stakes are higher. Like y'all did this last year, so we was expecting it to happen again if y'all was announcing the tournament in the first place. So I mean, they always try to make it big and like, oh, it's the biggest thing ever every year. So I mean, but I'm glad it's back. They're continuing with this King of the Ring and Queen of the Ring tournament. It had definitely great contenders last year. You didn't really know who was winning those matches. They had, matches that they never shown before, were presented before. So I very much enjoyed that. You didn't know who was going to win. Kind of at the edge of your seat. And I like the winners. Gunther definitely deserved it. Going to his match at SummerSlam with Damian Priest. And Nia, I was happy for her. Had her best year last year. Her winning that and going on to get her championship against Bayley at SummerSlam last year. So Jay could definitely win. Charlotte, it fits her gimmick. Queen, I'm the queen of the ring. So we may get that match in the tournament. I don't know. But that'd be something to look forward to, because they've been having face-offs here and there. So especially when Jay first came, and then on the second round when Charlotte got back, they had another face-off. So I'm looking forward to it. So we'll see where things go with it.
Go ahead, Professor.
I like the idea of Jade actually winning, considering that Naomi won Money in the Bank. Since it's going to be at SummerSlam, look, I don't know how, but I feel like you could throw Bianca in there as well and just go ahead and get that triple threat out the way for the title. Because I feel like eventually Naomi's going to cash in on Tiffany, and you can do the big three, unless they feel like this story got enough legs to push it all the way to Mania, which I don't know. We'll see. But no, I don't mind the idea of Jade winning it. It will be her first big singles win. And it's not like it's anything that's bad to win. It's the Queen of the Ring. Yeah, it'd be a good springboard for her to at least really be that single star that we all kind of waiting to see her be. So yeah, I actually like because I don't know who else. I don't think it's gonna be Lyra, although I wouldn't mind it either. But I just don't think she's already been in kind of a champion, so she don't really need that. I don't see it being Chelsea. Same reasonings. Naya already won it. Tiffany, I don't. So Jade probably would be the best pick offhand without looking at the roster that I can see winning this. So yeah, just maybe hers to lose.
Yeah.
So I was talking with the number one player this morning, and I was kind of giving some crap about Naomi winning because he was like, this, that, and the other. So I told him, I said, look, this is what I think. What if this happens? What if Jade wins Queen of the Ring? And let's say Jade wins the title at SummerSlam. And let's just say Naomi happened to cash in right after that.
Oh, I see.
I know. I say she could win it at Evolution.
Oh,
Jade could, well, she could cash in at Evolution. That's a big moment. And why wouldn't you do that against All In? Have a cash in moment at that pay-per-view since they're going against each other. They're going face to face, head to head with those shows, those big shows. So do a cash in right there. That leads you to SummerSlam.
And it'll make Evolution seem like a must-see show because you have a surprise cash in. So yeah, I can see that being the case. Yeah, it's a women's show. Yeah, I can see that.
Look, all I'm saying, the excitement is in the air with that. The King and Queen of the Ring coming back, Night of Champions in Saudi on June 28th. So I mean, look, we got something to look forward to there. I think it's like 3 weeks out. Particularly now, and as you know, what we're seeing with WWE is like every 2 to 3 weeks something's going on. And not only that, we talked about this before. It's like 2 or 3 shows per weekend. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, they're really getting it out there, and I know that's one of the biggest reasons because the reducing of house shows and things like that. So these superstars have to work right and keep their craft sharp. So I get that too. But yeah, we're probably going to see a lot of that. But at the same time, to your point, you're talking about competing with AEW. I look at it just like NFL every Sunday, man. There's multiple games on. You know what I'm saying? You pick who you want to see. I think the fans win at the end on that personally. I don't think it's a thing. Let's put you out of business. I think it's more let's help each other step each other's game up. Now, I don't think Tony Khan would say that. And I definitely don't think Triple H would say that, but I think the wrestlers would say that. You know what I'm saying? They step each other up. You know what I'm saying? They see who's better. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather think Tony Khan a little offended by it, honestly, but that's just my personal opinion. But
he doesn't like it. He takes it all as a personal attack.
Yeah. But hey, we've been down this road before, so it's all good, man. But I wanted to get into that piece as far as and there's another piece I want to talk about because it led into to the weekend. I want to talk about what Solo told JC, and if it reminded you of a certain promo back in the day in 2005 when a guy who named Dave Bautista, you may have heard of him, was in the process of making his decision about if you wanted to face JBL or Triple H, and then he heard a little conversation between Ric Flair and Triple H. And they didn't know he was outside. That's what that kind of reminded me of. You know what I'm saying? And that night, as we know what happened, he kind of put both of them down. Triple H specifically through a table. So that's what that reminded me of because I brought that up because if you saw the show last night, you kind of know what that happened from there, and you know what everybody's kind of quoting. You know what I'm saying from that perspective as well. Professor, let's start with you on that take on that particular thing. How you felt? Then we go to Mr. Highlights on it to close it out.
The segment on SmackDown I thought was pretty cool. I noticed that Solo is just kind of in a I don't care type mode for some reason because he was very out loud about I got him on the wraps. Dude, keep that to yourself. And I mean, am I supposed to believe that the cameras are not there in their face as they say some of these things? But I don't know. I did thought that really kind of just laid the foundation of Solo and Fatu finding separate ways. Again, I may not be that happy about it because I'm not that happy about it. I really wish these two could have just stayed together as a unit. I don't like to see them break up, but I mean, all stories got to come to an end at some point, it looks like. Solo has been doing great work, by the way. I just can't get over how entertaining he's been every time I see him. I would look him winning Money in the Bank would have been nice. I didn't see it happening, but it would have been nice to see him walk around with it, especially after the events of what happened. Be like, yeah, Jacob, and what? Just to kind of be that extra. But I thought it was actually a pretty good segment, and how it played out with Jacob finally turning. It wasn't the big moment as I thought it was going to be, but it was still a pretty big moment because he did cost him. I like how Solo, he grabbed his ankle. Solo went, "What's that? What could that be?" Like you don't know who else is in the ring with you right now.
Yeah.
Good
Yeah,
work,
I want
guys.
to add to that real quick before Crump go. I'm totally with you. Like, yeah, the cameras are here, but I kind of was like, the story itself. I guess you got to keep something going because again, the bloodline is going to get a hall. Since we're doing moments in Hall of Fames now, I'm pretty sure the bloodline story is going to be in the Hall of Fame one day because of how to keep reinventing it. They had to do something, I guess, now because they're trying to recruit Jimmy, but he's fighting them, things like that. So somebody has to, I guess, got to kind of shake it up a little bit because we know Jay's going from it, we know Roman's going from it. So because even Paul Heyman's not even with it anymore, so now they kind of starting fresh on their own, standing on their own. So if they can get another heater mouthpiece, I think that'd be good for them. But that's just my take on that part as well. So.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
I just go back. I just want to talk about the moment of Seth calling Jacob Solo's bitch.
Yeah.
and Solo kind of trying to play it down like, don't worry about that. But even though that's probably what he's thinking, like, yeah, you right. You know how Solo is now, because Solo, like that, he is being a real character or whatever right now, especially how he was in the whole Money in the Bank match.
Yeah, putting his fists out and all that like that. Like,
set him. Yeah, he kept doing that to set him for Penta, man. But so he was jokes all through the thing. So that's why I said I'm loving Solo right now. I wish he would have won. That was my pick, but I did have my thoughts of Jacob doing what he did, and it came true for what he did. But it's all good. So Solo just has JC right now. I mean, so going forward, I don't know what his plan is, and hopefully I will hope the Tongans come back sooner rather than later. That'll be great. But like I said, Solo keeps getting these big losses, and I don't know what his come up is coming, because if he goes 1-on-1 with Jacob, I don't see him beating Jacob unless, like I said, JC just interferes and it goes from there.
Well, I could probably see that being the case where they have a match, JC interferes and Solo wins, and that could lead to a U.S. title match because he would have pinned the champ and then just carry it from there.
Yeah. But if that's not for the title, I'm just saying Jacob will win when the title is on line.
Oh,
and that's the big win. And then the way things going with how Damian Priest is kind of showing how he's cool with Jacob, but still wants that U.S. title, that could be a tag match right there. Jacob and Damian Priest versus JC and Solo. So that I'm sure that's happening either at Saturday night's main event or a SmackDown. One of the two shows like that, and then it's gonna lead to the 1-on-1 matches. But Damian Priest is gonna be in there somewhere. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. That's where his head is going right now.
I'm calling it. Solo's gonna win the U.S. title.
I mean,
I think he'll win it either by SummerSlam, if not at SummerSlam.
Yeah, like I told you before, BJ, I said they're gonna be fighting by SummerSlam.
Yeah,
and so that could happen. It could be a triple threat: Damian Priest, Solo, and Jacob.
It could be. It could be. But they had to pull it quick though, because think about it. Literally, at the time of this recording on Sunday, June the 8th, we're under 2 months until SummerSlam. So things like I said, things are going to move fast. Like, because it's April 2nd. It's August 2nd and 3rd. You know what I'm saying? So, and then you got to build up. Like I said, Night of Champions got his own thing going on, right? So then you got again a Saturday night's main event. Shortly after that, then you got Evolution, the all women's pay per view, and then like a couple weeks later, it's SummerSlam. So I'm thinking in that time frame, some matches might be booked already for SummerSlam. You know what I'm saying? So look. It's going to be moving fast. So I think Jacob, he's probably going to fight JC for a little bit. Maybe Solo not going to be there. Maybe Solo comes back with the Tongans, and maybe at Night of Champions they do kind of find Damian and Jacob 1-on-1. Maybe Night of Champions, right? Might as well kind of do it that. But I also know Saudi from my understanding, gets a hand about who comes over there to fight because they pay, from my understanding. So who they want. But I just want to say, I'm gonna save that part. I kind of want to say it right now, but I'm gonna save it because until we get into the Money in the Bank match itself. Because I feel like they keep teasing us about one particular match. And I think you know what I'm talking about because we saw it on Friday and Saturday. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know exactly what you're talking about. Yeah.
they keep teasing us on there. You know what? Forget it. Let's just do it. Look.
Yeah. What match is this?
Oh, you don't know? Oh, I know.
Oh, go ahead, talk to him.
Oh, you talking about Jacob and the attack dog, Braun Breaker.
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
man.
yeah, okay.
Come on, saying, bro.
Yeah.
Hey, every time they go face to face, the fans go crazy.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because that step up Jacob did when they was like both the teams was lined up and Braun Breaker stepped forward, getting it in solo phase. Nah, yeah, and they did that before, so it's like we're waiting for that match. Like I said, there's a few matches right there. Jacob and Bronson Reed too.
Yeah, I was thinking that one too. But
they got that. They
Braun Breaker
they fall in the
Jacob
indie scene.
good. Oh, damn.
So we didn't get Brock and Gunther. So right now, let us get Braun and Jacob.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They can keep teasing that, bro.
That's your future right there.
Hey, come on, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, the way that boy, hey, look, that boy like a bullet last night when he speared up.
Oh yeah, like straight like a bullet train. Seriously. It's funny because they had a shot of him coming out the entranceway, and then not even like a secondary camera cut. He like what?
Who speared? Grande Americano.
Yeah, Grande Americano.
Yeah, hey. He was jumping over people. We'll get that. Like we'll get that talk to when we talk about the Money in the Bank match. But Braun Breaker, he was all over the place. He was doing his thing.
Hey, but that's a match we definitely. I know they kind of testing the waters there, but I think they got the answer. Come on, 2 nights in a row. But nonetheless, something as we transition here, something very cool happened in the industry that we enjoy talking about. A lot's going on in wrestling. We have 2 juggernauts in the business with WWE and AEW, and a lot of companies who are not who are a little smaller in size, rather not talent size. They're kind of joining forces with different companies. You got Ring of Honor with AEW, you got AAA now with WWE, partnership with TNA, things of that nature. Mm-hmm. And then you got some of the indie scenes and all that type of stuff as well, tearing up to somebody as well. So, but my point is, yesterday afternoon rather, we had Worlds Collide. Now that's not a new show under the NXT umbrella. However, because I remember they did NXT UK and NXT back in the day too. So I remember that. But we had a different feel last night. We had AAA, Lucha Libre style wrestling, which was good to see Conan. I haven't seen him in a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? And but they kind of went with WWE/NXT talent. And of course, they built it to the point where they get credibility by putting talent in their audience and things of that nature. Then we know Dominic Mysterio got involved, and later on he had a match, obviously on the card with Octagon Jr. But I'm going to the professor again first on this one. Kind of walk us through that. And what do you thought about the actual show itself? And what do you think it's going to do moving forward for AAA specifically? Because WWE has already can benefit just off their name, but having somebody like that under them as well, what do you think that does for the company?
It does. Well, it puts them on the map. I will say that because so you've had AAA do business with other partner groups, but WWE has a very specific audience that's a little more mainstream, a little more not casual wrestling fan. So there's quite a few people on the show who some might not have seen before. I'll admit there was an Iguana guy on here. I've never seen him before. Mr. Iguana, that was brand new to me. So, but that's one thing about Lucha Libre wrestling. It does also show a different style that WWE does do occasionally, but not a lot of. That match that led to the Pentagon Jr. versus Dominic Mysterio wasn't a bad match. It was pretty good. It was okay. The promo afterwards was Dominic just talking mad cash junk from the stands. Conan was on commentary, and we all know he's a big Rey Mysterio fan, so he was not really having a lot of what Dominic was saying.
Yeah.
What I found interesting about it was the fact that Dominic just up and said, "Oh, I'll make it for the title too." It's like, okay, this is our 5th match. Like that was just kind of out of nowhere.
Yeah, that surprised me.
I thought he was going to lose because of that statement. I thought he was going to lose just off of that statement. What heel says that? Historically, when we hear he'll say something like that, they're losing.
Yeah, usually, right? Or either they will say like, "Oh, I'll put the title on the line if and it's usually you got to run through a circuit of events before you just get the title shot.
Mhm.
So, but I get it, right? Because again, this is all advertising. This is on YouTube, by the way. So,
Yeah.
talk about free for everyone. Anyone that has the internet was able to see this if they wanted to. So, I'm pretty sure this is just merely a way of getting eyeballs on the Money in the Bank for whatever reason you needed to, and the opposite effect, making sure eyeballs are aware of what AAA wrestling is, and this is going to be more of a regular thing. One thing I will say I appreciate about it was it looked like WWE, but it didn't feel like WWE. It still felt like AAA wrestling.
Yeah.
So it isn't like they're totally molding them into the WWE style NXT type way. They're letting them be who they are with a much better broadcast to do it under. So yeah, it was a good show though, overall. Really good show if you're into that. I'm a little indifferent with Lucha Libre wrestling. Is cool, but overall I thought the show was good. Vikingo and Chad Gable, they probably had the match of the weekend if you really want to be. I mean, if you're into the spectacle, they had probably the best match of the weekend. But I'll tell you what my match of the weekend was, really. I'll tell you when we get to that one, though.
Hey, I'll say this one thing about Chad Gable. Thank you for your take, Professor, on that. Very well done, man. Hi, that man. You know what he's talking about. Just saying. Hey, but you know, I personally am. I really want Chad Gable to be IC champion. To me, he's the epitome of an IC guy championship right now. He wrestles. He can cut promos. He's a shoot wrestler. You know, he's a grappler. He can do all of that. And what I thought technician, he's all that what I thought an IC champion was when I really started paying attention to it. You know, I know we talk about Pat Patterson being the first and all that, but when I look at IC title, I think Bret Hart. You know what I'm saying? Shawn Michaels, Kurt Angle, Chris Benoit. You know, guys like those grapplers like that personally because Mr. Perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no offense, but I don't think about the honky tonk man. You know what I'm saying? I know you had long. I don't think about that. You know what I'm saying? I think about those technical grapplers because those guys were going to the next level. If you're going to look at the list, you'll see they went to the next levels. You know what I'm saying? So Bret Hart specifically, when he left the Hart Foundation, he went right into an IC title program and won. You know what I'm saying? So you know, so I think Chad Gable. So Dirty Dog, go ahead and get that shot to Chad Gable. Let's handle business. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this question, and this is also for RC and anyone else in the chat who may be listening. How do you feel about? I'm going to break kayfabe. How do you feel about Chad Gable getting a push as Americano, as opposed to just being Chad Gable? I'm gonna say this real quick. Somebody, there was one of these unpopular wrestling opinion threads, and one of the unpopular opinions was that Owen Hart was never over, which is why he went through so many gimmicks and how he ended up back as a Blue Blazer. Is that sort of the issue with Chad Gable? He's really good and people like him, but he's never really over. The only way how did Chad Gable get over as Americano, quote unquote. So it's like, are we happy with him getting a push? Because Chad Gable lost the Money in the Bank. Americano won his Money in the Bank qualifier. So it's like, I don't know. How we feel about this?
I'll let Crunk go first because I saw his eyes. So I can't let him get it out.
No, I think Chad Gable is a great wrestler. I thought he should have had a push. I thought he should have been Kurt Angle's son at the time when they did that instead of doing a ironic joke of having a black kid. Okay, we get it. That should have just been Chad Gable's kind of launch into what he's supposed to be because that's what he is. Timu Kurt Angle, but he could have been more than a Timu Kurt Angle. He just could have been better because, like I said, he's still good on the mic. I thought he was doing good with American Alpha, but they just didn't never put him. They just never put him over to those spots. They want to call him Shorty G and do all this other stupid stuff. Because he had a great tag team. What's his name? Jason Jordan. But as far as he went. Other than that, I mean, he has no singles championships.
Yeah, really.
For all I know, unless he had the 24/7 title once, maybe I don't know. But he should be doing way better. But this Grande Americano was supposed to be a joke. It's supposed to be disrespect towards what this AAA is. It's disrespect, pretty much. Ooh. And so you promoting that instead of the person that we actually like under the mask. And Chad Gable, who's doing amazing work. I mean, like I said, look at this match with Vikingo. Like I told you, I think Professor the last episode, Chad Gable should have been Money in the Bank, and Grande Americano should have been at this AAA event going against Vikingo.
Oh yeah, it should be the opposite way around.
Yeah, it should have been the opposite way around because he's a disrespect toward this whole brand. And if you got your biggest champion going against him and beating him, especially in front of that, rabid crowd, that's what you want. Yeah, they booed Chad Gable anyway. I mean, but it could have been even more with Grande Americano in that position. And Chad Gable could have been heightened up in that Money in the Bank match from that Money in the Bank, his performance in that. But you going with Grande Americano in it, it's like, yeah, please don't let him get it. Please take him out, get him off that ladder. Because he was close, but then had that moment with LA Knight with that scary, back body drop. I thought his head hit the ladder at that moment, but it didn't when they showed the replay. I saw it. But that's where it should have been. But I said, I don't know how far they're going to go with this. And I don't think Chad Gable needed anything else. Just be that the copy of Kurt. If you got to copy Kurt Angle, I don't care. You got his moves. You got the American flag thing going on. You got the team behind you, who the Creed brothers are amazing. You got him doing a stupid laugh in that group, making them even more of a joke, even though they're a great tag team. That's why your Raw tag team division is sorry right now. Even though I love the New Day, but they're not doing anything.
Oh wow, they are the champs. I forgot they were the champs.
Yeah, exactly. They had that great moment and they're not capitalizing on it. But this team
before you rant, Chad Gable does not have a singles title. Americano, however, does have a singles title. He's currently the Speed champion.
Oh well, yeah.
Okay.
So
I mean, that's what I'm saying. That's even more of a push in it. Like Mary says, I don't respect the Speed Championship because I don't feel like it's nothing significant. It's still a better push than Chad Gable's even getting.
But, I don't know. You done, bro? I don't want to just. But he took a deep breath. I think it done. Ladies and gentlemen, I think it's good.
I was letting you talk. I thought you want to say something. That's all.
No. You took a deep breath, so I ain't want to. So if you know me, anything on here, I kind of look at the big picture, right? Very valid point, I would say. But I want to go back to what the professor said first about comparing to the Blue Blazer. I wouldn't do that. If you're doing that only because of a mask, that's one thing. But let's not forget, Chad Gable was leading, to RC point. He was leading groups, American Alpha, which was over for a while. Him and Otis had, tag team title matches on WrestleManias, things of that nature, And they were over. To the point where Otis, was becoming a big star. Not sure what happened there yet, but he was getting over, especially when he started getting, I guess, quote unquote, bullied by Chad Gable, and things of that nature. But I would say this: I'm like, whoa, hey,
look who joined.
Miss Adlib, what's going on? Miss Adlib.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. Thanks for joining us. We kind of in the middle talking about Grande Americano and Chad Gable for a moment, but
okay.
I would say this right here. Because I like Chad Gable, as I just kind of said, how I wanted to be IC champion. I'm liking the different talented things he's doing right now. I think it's showcasing him in a different light. Now, I do think at one point they're going to have to take the mask off, obviously, and do something with it. But I think it's showing him in a different light, and maybe I think the idea is for him to get more over. Like even though we know it's him, come on now. Like they built the same. He said it last night, wearing the same boots. Come on now, right? And he's doing and he's doing the thank yous. He's doing the thank. You know what I'm saying? We know it's him. I just think maybe WWE is saying let's try to get him over even more so when he does do it. And let's be honest with you, the Lucha Libre wrestling scene is always legit, but having a heel like this kind of trying to go after them, in my opinion, like I don't like y'all, I want to take all y'all out. Well, he got a long road ahead of him, but I'm just saying, and the one thing I will kind of disagree on, answer this first. Answer this. Has America Grandcano, I totally messed his name up. Has he lost a match yet? Like pin to the
Not that I know.
Let me take a look and see. I can check real quick.
I don't think he has really.
This is why I'm gonna ask.
I'm gonna let you count his Money in the Bank, but
no, like show this pin to the mat.
Show his picture, man. I can't. I can remember
wow.
though.
No.
He been winning with that sheet metal in his mask, and that's like his finisher now. He like put that in real quick and then get the win.
Wow.
That's
No,
the, so
Americano has
RC,
not
that's the
lost.
one reason I would say I disagree with about how do you say you should have swapped places and Chad should have been in the Money Bank and vice versa. I think that's the one reason why it wasn't because he's undefeated still. And if the goal was for him to lose that match, I just don't personally think that's what they wanted to do. I'm not saying I'm right it. I just don't think that's why they did it. I think they still want to keep Grande and Monacono undefeated for whatever reason. But that's what I think. That's just what I feel they're trying to do personally.
I just don't see what the point is. I don't know. Like, I don't know how far they trying to take this, but I just don't understand why they got him in this position.
Got it.
Chad Gable is perfectly fine without a mask.
Hey,
Yeah,
I
just
do
with
want
the,
I want Chad Gable to still be IC champ. I'm saying that, and I still want that to happen. So
the
There
only
you
loss
go.
Americano
Same.
has is Americano only loss is Money in the Bank. That's his only loss. Didn't realize that. Okay.
go ahead, keep honest. I know you popping on. I saw your message. You're popping on because I know you in the middle of some things. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to see Chad, get his championship, back too. He a little mouthy, but he do his thing. He do his thing. He talk trash, but he do his. So yeah, I want to see him win something. Yeah, that part about the boots, because I watched the replay this morning. That part about the boots was hilarious. It's like, yeah, oh, it's lost at the airport. I'm like, y'all know good and well, like
Wait, a person can't
WWE
just
stuff.
borrow boots? A person
Nah,
can't borrow boots.
And put
You know what?
CG on them.
How do we not know those were Chavo
CG.
Guerrero boots? Those could have been Chavo Guerrero.
You know what? They could have been, but didn't you
Oh
just ask a
goodness.
question about breaking kayfabe not too long ago?
And we're back in kayfabe now, so we're back in it.
Oh
So again,
Lord,
I don't think it's Chad
I
Gable.
am
I'm not
done.
sure who Americano is.
They
Hey,
said
I'm done.
They said Chad Gable loaned Grande his boots, so that's what it was.
That part.
Oh, see, that's a
hey,
really nice gesture. That is
you
just
know
really
what?
nice. That's a
You know
team
what,
effort in the
Oh,
BJ?
locker room.
You BJ, you would be
team
perfect on
effort.
commentating right now. You'll be perfect on commentating because that line alone right now, you know what? That gives me the Bobby and the Brain Gorilla Monsoon vibe when they at the table because the brain always saying, well, what about this monsoon?
I am done.
Well,
You know what
I'm
I'm
just
saying?
saying, there's a
Oh
lot of
gosh.
variables. It's a lot of variables. That's all.
Yeah.
Hey,
There's no guarantee. Look,
But
none of us are detectives. None of us are Batman. We can't just assume someone is someone because of certain things.
yeah.
well, ask me in about 2 to 4 months. Let's have the conversation again.
Okay. Well,
And
in case it's
I'm
so.
guessing by
Ah,
then they'll probably reveal, whatever. But
Yeah.
uh,
The funniest part for me when Chad Gable was talking back to the Creed brothers, talking about hide the fireball ladder, another ad. Hide the fireball ladder under the ring and tell Grande where it is. Oh yeah.
Slim Jim Mutt.
Tell me too.
The time.
Well, he just wants to know in
The
case they don't
time.
communicate with him on time. He can
I
drop
was
a
like,
message.
okay, you like get out of here. You playing this hard right now.
he like I got
Could
to
he?
know. I got to know.
Oh God.
That was funny, man.
Okay.
Hey,
That was fun.
as you see here, ladies and gentlemen, we like to have a good time on the Champions Corner. We're not just talking wrestling. We're actually a family. We grew up together. This is what we always talked about. We're just sharing it with y'all now. You know what I'm saying? So we've always done this. This is like 30 years in the making. You know what I'm
Carrie.
saying? So like, hey, we've been doing this for a hot minute. You know what I'm saying? Like from going back to I don't know why I'm going on this road right now. Going back to wrestling in the yard, making paper belts, and but right now home pay per views. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Hey,
still the
getting
greatest
yelled at.
welterweight champion.
Yeah, listen, keep going back home because my pants legs all dirty and get yelled at.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
That's
man,
funny.
we have a classic reign that should remain between us. Our reign was, nobody know all that. You know what I'm saying? But but that's between us. But nonetheless, this is what we do. We love sharing these things. So,
Right.
but Johannes, real quick before we move on to Money in the Bank itself. Did you want to add anything about the Worst Collide event? Anything particular you want to add about? We did spend a lot of time talking about the main event, which particular some are saying was the match of the weekend, as well. But do you have anything you want to add to this for Worst Collide?
Yeah, I'm still watching Worlds Collide, like still, but Collide, I haven't fully caught up on it. But like Money in the Bank itself, overall, Naomi, she on her firecracker, pop, pop, pop. She gonna go out with a bang later on, with her stuff she doing. Um, who else? The Seth, I call it the Seth, but y'all know Seth won. You know what? Yeah, he won. That match took forever. It took forever. That's the part where I texted y'all last night, and I was like this.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm like, I know they gotta, play it out and play it. I'm like, but can we wrap this up now? Like, y'all
Hit the
get
wrap up button.
struggling on the ladder and everybody just back and forth. But I like the Carnage though, in spite of it. They didn't forget the corners. They've been
There
throwing
you
them out
go.
back. Everybody head got tear, just rat tat 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 tat, just everywhere. So that kind of made up for it, in between me like this. I'm like, oh shoot, he tear up. Oh,
Hey,
go back to sleep for a minute. But yeah, Seth, he gotta have, Braun Breaker in them, so that's a good win for them as well.
Mhm.
Yeah, that match was good. Becky and Lyra. I think overall that was a good challenge for Lyra. The end, when Becky was like, "Hey, don't forget you gotta put this belt on me," and Lyra like, "All right, you running out now." And Becky like, "No, no, 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 we gonna follow this deal." So I was like, that probably was like a ping pong match, just back and forth, just walking. I'm like, okay, how much time you
Yeah.
gonna hold up your arm? Like Jesus. But Lyra said that's about enough of this. She got her on the end. That
Mhm.
was funny. I
Mhm.
like Becky, but I hilariously laughed. I'm not gonna lie. And she got slammed. Who else? Dominic, like I always say, he's a wonderful heel. And one thing Dominic could do is show up to work.
Mhm.
Yeah.
He remind me of Drew McIntyre with that. He could have fun while he wrestling, and he could show up and give 100%. I can't take that from him at all. Um, Cody Rhodes and the whole nine. That match was cooking start to finish, start to
Mm.
finish, and it just blessed my soul and everybody else. Well, R-Truth took that hoodie off. Like I told y'all, I scream and holler and woke up the whole house 10 something at night. I didn't care. And we needed that. They had us stressed out all week. They banging out. We got us all stressed out and depressed. We didn't know whether we've been coming or going. Like, oh no, R-Truth is really going. He's really going out the door. R-Truth said, and marinated. He said, give me time to cook. Like Lonnie, you said we need some seasoning like this. He's like, give me a minute. I coming back. I'm gonna ease right on there. He said, just let me sizzle for a minute. So that blessed my soul, R-Truth last night. I'm like, thank you, WWE, because I was not enough. I was. I ain't gonna lie. I had a long day yesterday. But yeah, R-Truth, thank you. Ron Killings, everything you've done for the industry and will continue to do. Your music, hopefully some more acting. I'm here for all of it. I want all the smoke running. Running.
Hey,
So yeah.
I,
It
I
was
think
pretty good. It was pretty good.
I think that's your champions moment right there, ladies and gentlemen. The one is on R2. I
Oh
think that's
yeah.
your champions moment right there. I don't look, but that's kind of what. Since we're there,
Mm.
um, let's kind of go through the card.
Okay, yeah.
We kind of like highlighted everything so far, but one of the reasons why I think some of the matches, like ladder matches, Money in the Bank matches, were longer this time because initially we only had 4 matches set for the card.
Mm-hmm.
Which is why Dom and Octagon probably only got like what 4 minutes, 5 minutes, whatever it was.
Let's
Yeah.
Uh,
start again.
you know what I'm saying? So, but let's go ahead and get into it. The women's Money in the Bank. We talked about. I know myself and Ron G. We was like, hey, Naomi, let's go with Naomi. Let's get
Yes,
it.
sir.
It makes sense. I know you had what 3. First of all, Rhea didn't need to win. She's a
Mm.
she's worked title twice. She didn't need to win. She was there for star quality, right?
Yeah.
Then you had Alexa, who's returning, who's pretty good. She's like a what 2-time Money in the Bank winner or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, 2-time, right? And then you
Yeah,
got the call.
Josh.
You got Stephanie Vakir,
Mm.
Julia, Roxanne Perez. and who am I missing right now? And Naomi, yeah, Naomi. So, you know,
Yeah,
the three, yeah, the three, you know, just got called up. Yeah, it'd been nice, but to get them in that experience would be great. But Naomi was the choice. You know what I'm saying? She was the choice. If not, she would have been going back, you know, just kind of attacking Jade, you know, every week or so, you know, or Jade
yeah.
attacking her, you know, or her trying to get him, talk junk to Bianca, you know, things like that. So now she has, you know, she letting them know, keep your head on the swivel. You know, I got this now. And I'm coming for all y'all. You know what I'm saying? All y'all. And ain't nothing you can do about it. You feel me? So,
Mm-hmm.
Ron, I know you've been waiting on it, bro. Let them have it.
Hey, we had to pick. I know Sean upset. I don't know. It don't matter.
Yeah.
Naomi deserves
Yeah,
this win. Naomi has done this for a long time. If you watch the post show, Big E was telling her how long they've been together and coming up in the business. That in this run, this is her best run, and she's showing
Yeah, that's
off.
true.
And she got emotional, and then the crowd
Boy.
cheering for her, but she told the crowd to shut up and whatnot because I don't need y'all now. I got up
That
here
was
by
funny.
myself.
Hey, hold it.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
yeah.
was funny.
Hell yeah. She very much deserves it. I'm ready to see that caution tape all over the briefcase. Show it
Run it.
all. The caution
Run it.
sign, the caution tape, whatever we want to do. I know she good at the designing the gear. I mean, so design this briefcase, sell that on WWE
Okay.
shop.
All the merch.
Yeah. Before as the
All
match
the merch.
goes, very good match, very good match. They had a lot of good moments. Had Stephanie doing the devil's kiss on the ladder and doing they're doing all Roxanne and I think Alexa did the cold red on two ladders.
Yes,
Mommy showing her strength. It was Rhea's first ladder match. Period. First Money in the Bank and first ladder match.
Yeah, well, yeah, well.
So she did great in that. Who I'm missing? Who else is in there?
See, it happens. You see, it happens.
Yeah,
You talk about it.
I'm trying to think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
They
Julie
come
did her
back to
thing.
you.
Julie did her thing in there. She did some crazy move. I forgot what the kind of name of the move was. She did to Naomi in that match, but I was like, I worried about Naomi. I thought, oh dang, that Naomi might be out the rest of the match with that one.
Yeah, that like a corkscrew, like a leg twist. Almost not a corkscrew, a Russian. Darn it, okay, not a Russian leg sweep. Like an arm drag, but with the leg. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I can't think of the name of it right now.
Yeah, I thought she would have been out after that, but
Yeah.
I'm glad she came back through with the win. I think she's the first African American woman to win the Money in the Bank.
Yeah, probably. I don't see ya.
Yeah,
I believe
that's two big things then.
I mean,
That's
who
two big
else would
things in
be?
6 weeks.
Yeah, right. It's not that many. So because Bianca didn't win it. If Bianca didn't win it, that means she's probably the first one to win it.
Fact.
Seeming like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very happy. Like I said, this is my pick. I would have been happy if Julia, Stephanie, or Roxanne won. I just really didn't want Rhea or Alexa to get that because I feel like they didn't need it. They had other ways to get there, and Alexa herself ain't really been doing much for me. I'm just waiting for her to join the Wyatt Six and let that be that. Everybody else is on the come up. He just got to the main roster, so I would have been happy for them. But Naomi, she needed this. This really cements her, and I feel like, and she says she wants to go for Tiffany. She remembers why Tiffany stopped her from getting the W championship some months back. So she hasn't forgotten that because they was asking her, so you're not gonna go for the Io Sky? Like, nah, I need Tiffany right now. Tiffany's been stopping me from where I want to be since I got back, and so I'm gonna give her some payback.
Oh my god!
Yeah, I'm gonna give her some payback, and this is my moment. I'm gonna relish in this for a little bit, but I'm picking my spot. And it's like I said, she already been stalking people and being behind them like a scary movie, doing the like I said, I always call it I always call it the fatal attraction type of thing. So that's what she's doing with Bianca. But her and Bianca are building. And her and Jade are still going. And so that's what I'm saying. We was talking about earlier about she gonna cash in that evolution. I feel like, and that's the biggest moment that she could cash in on, because we don't know if we get another evolution after this. It took so long to get this one, so make this evolution a big show. Make it have a real big moment that everybody's going to talk about, especially going across from All In. It's going to be on the same night, and so I'm ready for that moment. I'm ready. I'm just happy for Naomi.
You know, before the next person go, I want to say this. Um, just real quick. Do you think Evolution should be every year, or should it be like one of those special spectacles we keep every so often, so it won't ruin it? You know what I'm saying?
Oh, it depends on how much of a crowd reaction it gets. I
Got it.
mean,
Okay.
that's what you got to base it on.
Yeah,
Got it.
I think they about to try to test that right with this one. We
Mm.
enjoyed the last one. I had very much, it had some great moments on that one. But yeah, this is another test for it, and see if we want to
Okay.
keep it around.
But see, it's also
Um,
like you don't want to kill the novelty of something.
Yeah.
Because
yeah,
I will
yeah.
tell you right now, I feel like as much as we love the Money in the Bank, Hell in the Cell, Elimination Chamber, War Games, if you keep seeing it over and over, it sort of loses its luster. What keeps Money in
That's
the
true.
Bank in line is because it's the Money in the Bank. But I, this is a different discussion. But I feel like Money in the Bank pay per view should go away, and the match itself should be only at WrestleMania again, and we should just fill this time with another pay per view like King of the Ring or something.
Okay.
I said
Yeah.
this
No.
before, but just a thought.
Mm.
Um, but to the point of the match itself, I was happy Naomi won. Like Ron said, me and him at least picked her to win.
Yeah.
I
I
wasn't
did
too
too.
big on the ideal of it when y'all first mentioned it, but as time went on and the story played out, it made the most sense. The only other person I could see winning would have been Roxanne, and that's only because to see how it would have played out with Judgment Day, just to
Mm.
see that dynamic. But other than that, Naomi was the right person to win. I thought the match was okay. Um, yeah, I thought it was fine. Credit to Stephanie Valkyrie. She wrestled 3 matches in the span of 48 hours. They wouldn't let you
Mhm.
forget it throughout all the commentary, but that was pretty good on her. Um, but I mean, I don't. Well, I mean, Naomi won. I'm happy about that. There isn't much else I could say about the match that hasn't already been said. Just happy Naomi won. It's her big
Mm.
time to shine. Oh, I will say this though, because I had a hot take on Thursday's show. I want to put it here. I also won't be surprised if Naomi is the first failed cash in.
Mm.
I just, I don't know. I just
No,
won't be
no, please
surprised.
no.
I know. I'm just saying, mentally prepare for that just in case.
Uh,
Because Jay could cause that from a standpoint. Whole CM Punk Drew McIntyre ordeal.
yeah, I will be upset. I ain't gonna,
And then
boy.
that could lead into just to their
Mm.
rematch at a SummerSlam, which then could be later for a title at a Survivor Series. Or
Mm.
or Evolution. I don't know. I don't know the pay-per-view schedule match card, but I'm just saying things could always go one way or a different way.
I can say that too. You know, I can go ahead, go on. Is there anything you want to add? I know you kind of get your take, but feel free to add anything in addition to that too. That's a very good take, Professor, as well.
Yeah, I don't want
Yeah.
to be a downer.
Yeah, I was about halfway through on Worlds Collide, but the good bit I saw so far I did like. I did enjoy. So it was a nice little refresher, nice little refresher. But yeah, I still think though, spacing it out will help. 'Cause, like VJ said, you don't want it to get too stale. So every now and again is nice. Nice little break. So yeah.
Gotcha. Well, I
Yeah,
think this circumstance is a little different though too because of how everything's kind of set up. Like it's like boom, 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 boom right now. You know,
Mm.
to that particular point. But I would say for me, Naomi, um, I don't think she should hold it long. Like I don't want her to fail to cash in, so I don't think she should hold the briefcase long though. Because we've seen either way you've seen it, right? We've seen people cash in on the same night. We've seen people cash in like, sometime later, months later, 7, 8 months later. I think Tiffany waited like what, 7, 8 months or something like that.
yeah, but outside of Tiffany, Carmella was the only other one to hold it long. Most women
Yeah,
cashed in 24 hours later or the
yeah,
next show. Let's say that.
yeah. I remember that.
Yeah,
I know specifically Bailey and Alexa Bliss cashed in on the same night.
yeah,
I
even
do
then,
remember that.
same night.
Both of them cashed on the
And
same.
and live. Yeah.
Liv, yeah, Liv did too. Yeah.
Uh,
So, yeah, on Ronda Rousey actually. So, as a matter of fact, I think Alexa Bliss cashed in on the Ronda Rousey Nia Jax match
she
that same
did,
night.
which was Ronda's other great match, and it didn't
Mhm,
have a completion because
mhm,
Ronda's best matches were with Sasha Banks and Nia Jax.
mhm.
I don't know who else.
Her very first match was good, that tag match. But
Oh
Oh yeah, I
yeah.
know, but that was a tag match. Like
yeah,
Yeah.
you know what?
that was a fun
Honestly,
match.
speaking of which, speaking of Evolution, and I know RC's not gonna like this, but her match with Nikki Bella at Evolution was good, and Nikki
Mm,
Bella's coming back Monday.
mm. That's
Yeah.
Now I'm not
okay.
saying now he did have to follow Becky and Charlotte, but for the most part, it was a pretty good solid match.
Yeah, bro.
Okay, it was a match.
I don't
Most of
know.
them are.
I,
I mean, it was a match. It happened in the ring. There was a bell. There was a
Oh
referee.
goodness.
There was a winner. There was a
Hey,
loser. Had all
but
Hey,
but
types
what
of
is
pitchfork
but
happening?
match.
not granted. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it like that. But it was a solid match for her. You know, it was a solid match for her.
yeah.
Um, so I would say that. But yeah, I don't think Naomi should hold it. I think I think whoever, if it's Jade, we talked about this at the beginning of the show. If it's Jade that gets the title shot at SummerSlam against Tiffany Stratton, because remember they've been teasing that for months too. They keep running up on
Yeah.
each other. If Jade gets the title shot and then she wins, I think that's when Naomi should cash in. Because to your point, Professor, you talked about kind of putting legs on a potential triple threat to WrestleMania. You can potentially do something like that in the wild. But the only thing about that though, if Jade and Naomi continue to feud a couple of months down the road, when do you add Bianca in it? Because right now Bianca says she's got to come back to SmackDown for unfinished business. So what happens then with her, right? Where you going to put her at for a while? You know what I'm saying? If you kind of get legs on it. So I don't know if that match will make it to WrestleMania.
Oh,
I think it may
you
be.
just she can win the Rumble again. Ain't nobody gonna object to Bianca winning the Rumble. They'll
Yeah.
hate it, but you know,
Yeah. I mean,
things have to happen to tell a story. Or she can win Elimination Chamber. And you know what? Just to add to that point, if Jade wins the title from Tiffany and Naomi cashes in on her and wins the title, Jade will hate Naomi forever. I almost want that to happen. That would just be a feud. I would hate that girl for the rest of my life if she ever did that to me.
That'd be
What did she
hilarious.
say
Man,
last
look.
night though? What did she say last night at the post show? She said, "If you beef with me, you beef forever." That's what she said on the
Not the
post show.
Cardi B.
Oh yeah, that
No,
is
that
Love
that
me
is
hip
was
hop
funny.
me.
edition.
And
I ain't done.
then Cardi gonna be on the host of SummerSlam, so I mean it all falls
Oh
into
yeah, I
place.
forgot about that.
It all
Hey,
falls
you
into
know what,
place.
man? Look, we can't. Hey, Monday and Friday, we got to see who's in this tournament, man. This is
Yeah,
gonna make a whole lot more
Oh,
sense
that's right.
because
The Queen of the Ring. That is
yeah,
right.
yeah.
'cause they start Monday. They start
If
tomorrow. So
right, but if Bianca's back for that tournament too, I don't know. Dang,
I don't know. I think it still look pretty jacked up to me, but I can.
it do. I seen her doing like the therapy and stuff like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's gonna be a while. Might be a while.
I got
You
to
know
go back
what?
and
I
watch
gotta
when
tell
it
you,
happened.
I know I've been spoiled by my favorite ball player because Kobe won a championship off of broken fingers. So I'm like, what's a broken finger? You wrestle on a broken finger?
Hey,
Like, what does that
hey,
even
look,
mean? That was just
I
Yeah.
get
a
that.
problem.
I get that too. I get that too. But I mean,
I'm
I just
spoiled.
think that Naomi is, I think it should be a quick. I'm saying SummerSlam, she should do it. I think she should do it at SummerSlam because, you know, because Jay said on Friday that she's coming from all that. She want all that, right? And you don't think Naomi heard that? Especially now that she got the briefcase?
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on. She heard that. She's always paying attention she's always paying attention to Jade. Jade trying to move past it in a sense, but no, Naomi ain't gonna let that go. Because remember, they haven't had a one-on-one match since WrestleMania. They had triple threat,
Yeah.
and Naomi won, but they haven't had a one-on-one match since WrestleMania. So that's still some gas in the tank there.
No, it
Or to
is.
quote Mark Henry, got a lot left in the tank. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's a
So,
lot to the
Man.
story. That's
Oh
what I'm saying. It
yeah.
could go to Mania. You can push it that far, and it could be a real blood feud. I don't know because you can really. There's a lot you can do with this. Naomi winning that Money in the Bank does add layers to the story, which you can do. And like I said, you can always incorporate Bianca later. She's one of those Teflon bulletproof stars like Rhea. You know, she could just complain, and she'll be in the title match. And people will hate it, but you get over it.
yeah, if I'm being honest too, real quick, just a match. The two matches I want to see Bianca have at WrestleMania specifically, I'll say three now. I'll say three. No, actually, I'm gonna go four. I'm gonna go four, and that's it. I want to see her with Charlotte one-on-one at Mania. I want to see her at Rhea one-on-one at Mania. And now the two ladies we're talking about, Jade and Naomi. Reason being, I
Yeah.
said this a couple of weeks ago. I think the real money would be, especially after the promo they had a couple of weeks ago when she like went into her house. I think the money is in Bianca and Naomi. I think that's the match that's going to have the money. To me personally, and my reasons for that again, why would they tease somebody going to somebody? They didn't go to nobody's house. You know what I'm saying? What are they stretching out right there? You know what I'm saying? But then again, is Bianca going to turn heel, or is Bianca their accomplice? Right? Because like at WrestleMania, we saw Bianca get booed, you know, for a lot of reasons, right? Like they probably just ready for the turn heel, or I think before if you ask, I think the brothers are over at Before the Bell. I think that's their podcast. Uh, they all about Bianca for the most part. You know what I'm saying? But my point being, Bianca got booed there, but Cody did too. But so we'll see what happens from there. And Bianca said out her mouth recently she'll love to be a heel again on this main stage, because ever since she came up to the main roster, she's been a face. So
Yeah.
there's a lot there too. So it's a lot. It's a lot. Let me. I ain't said it in a while, but there's a lot of meat on that bone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there's a lot of ways it
You
could go.
said.
Get you some seasonings.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's go to what match we have next.
Look,
Oh, next up.
but shout out to Naomi. I know we talked about the men's IC title match. I think it's going to lead to something else. I think it was one of those things to kind of get a AAA talent on the actual main card as well as part of the weekend. I mean, the match wasn't phenomenal. It was what it was. It was a short match. I think it's to do something, but what would be the transition from this? I don't know. Dom's going to be going over AAA for weekly shows or something like that potentially. Kind of like he did NXT when he won the North American Championship, maybe. I don't know. That's my take on it, but I'm open. Of course, we're going to open the floor to whoever wants to add anything to that. I know we kind of talked about it already, but if any other thoughts on it.
Well, nothing really. But like, it was a good match. It was a simple match. Dom kind of won clean in a sense, like the distraction from Liv. Um, I guess we'll have to tune in to AAA to figure out. I don't think they have a TV show, but I don't know. It wasn't a bad match. I was happy to see Dom defend the title. He hadn't really defended it since he won it, so it's good to
Yeah,
see
yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, he's
yeah.
been finished like once before this. Uh, but yeah, other than that, I mean, it's showcasing Dom. I mean, it's showcasing his skill and showcasing Octagon. Showing why the partnership is relevant, basically, because if it could lead to a match on a big show like this on Money in the Bank, it
Mhm.
should be it's worth checking out. If one of their wrestlers should be on the show like this, it's worth checking out. And that's what AAA was. The World Collide was. Period. It's a showcase of who we have and who are our main stars here, and who's getting the crowd in the seats. You know what I'm saying? Who they come to see on our show, and they're seeing who our world champion is for Vikingo. And it's just showcase. The next show may be more storyline and more interwoven into NXT or whatever, maybe main roster stories. But this was just a showcase of what we have and what we acquired. So I mean, I don't know if that's a good way to say it. I don't know, but
No, real quick to the point. I just want to say this real quick. So we talk about AAA. I just looked this up. Octagon Jr. is actually part of TNA.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
really? Okay.
Yeah, they really were pushing him like he was part of AAA though, but he's on the TNA roster. I thought.
Oh, I
That's
mean,
all.
that's another partnership that we're showcasing. Though, same
Yeah.
same thing.
Which is
That's good. That's
okay.
good.
That
Interesting.
threw me off. Yeah, I didn't
Miss
really see that coming.
Miss
Yeah.
Adlib, what you got anything, Miss Adlib?
Not right this second.
Okay, okay. Well, we're going to move on to something that you do have something about, and that's we're going to start with you about the women's IC title match. Now, I'm going to say this,
Mhm.
not that it was a bad match, but I think it was more there. It wasn't. None of the matches have been bad, but I think out of the three they've had, this one was not. This was number three. Like if I had to rank them,
Mhm.
you know what I'm
Oh
saying?
gosh.
You know,
I got you.
yeah, because Backlash was good. That
Oh,
NXT
goodness.
title match was good. So this was the one I felt like if I had to rank them 1, 2, 3, this would be the third one, because I don't think it just it didn't do that much for me as the other ones did. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, it just had a little extra stake on it with Lyra having to
Mhm.
put her arm up and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh. Oh, well, that's okay. Well, I'll be the one. This is my match of the night. I don't care.
Oh,
I
okay.
love it. So here's my deal. I'm a big fan of technical wrestling, and Lyra Valkyria is a good technical wrestler. And they built her to be so strong. This woman took a manhandle slam from the top rope and kicked out. So they really are building her to be a top star eventually. But I enjoy all their matches. I'm not even a big Becky Lynch fan, but this is where I realize I'm a big Lyra Valkyria fan. I don't know about her character, but I do like the ending of how this thing played out, where Becky was so demanding to raise my hand, raise my hand. Lyra didn't really want to do it, but she did it because it's an honorable thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Becky was really pushing to put the belt on, Lyra just sucked her in the mouth. And it's like, I like to see that type of edge where the good guy can be honorable, but at some point gets pushed to a point and they punch a person in the face. I don't know. A lot of faces don't seem to do that too often, but they usually get the punked out. Now, Becky winning, I like how they also did that, where you could say she pulled the tights. I gotta admit, from a viewpoint, I'm like, well, she might have just held on for leverage. I can't confirm that she pulled the tights. So you have that also as an opening door to put on possibly a fourth match. But no, nothing against the other matches. It's just that, Kiwanis already said it. That men's Money in the Bank, yeah, that was 33 minutes. It was just a long match. The women's Money in the Bank, it wasn't bad. It was okay. And, of course, the tag match, that picked up around the end. But for me, in engagement in wrestling, this was my match of the night. I'm also the same person who I rest on this day. And I was thinking about this last night watching this match. Bryan Danielson and Zack Sabre Jr. at Wrestle Dream a couple years ago. I swear to you, that's one of the greatest matches I ever seen. That is not on this level, but this does tell me I'm into that type of wrestling. And that was that type of wrestling.
Which is why you got the Bret Hart, the little toy thing there. Who's that next to him?
Oh, Goldust. And that's that's T'Challa, and that's the greatest boss ever, Michael Scott. Not really, but yeah.
Yeah, I got it. That's a very hot take, though. I mean, hey, look, all of us on this show and had plenty of times like this is my match of the weekend for different reasons. You know what I'm saying? But no harm, no foul, man. Hey,
I love it.
If technical wrestling, I'm a fan of technical wrestling too. Like, which is why Bret Hart is like one of my favorite wrestlers. You know what I'm saying? Like, I like his technique. He's a safe worker for one. But he always had that sharpshooter, man. It was. Well, obviously, I like Sting too. Everybody know that, but it's a little different. But it's a little different. You know what I'm saying? But nonetheless, if you know me, Sting, Shawn Michaels, and Bret Hart were like my guys. You know what I'm saying? So, but anyway, nonetheless,
like Sting because he was the all-American hero. Like, he was that legitimate hero. Great wrestler or not, he was the hero of the ring. I personally couldn't stand Sting because I felt like Sting was too trusting in the wrong people, and I have a hard time cheering for people who are that trusting and do stupid things. Like, come on, Sting, how you trust Flair for a fifth time, man? You know he's gonna betray you.
Hey, what was that one? I know we pivoting, but just work with us, y'all. We all right. We all right. Just work with us for a minute. Hey, I remember that time when he tagged him in. And he tagged him in, and he came in, and he cooked him in the face.
He came in strutting and getting the crack. It was the hot tag. And he turned around to Sting and socked him in the mouth, and Sting lost it and started really attacking Flair.
The crowd was bananas. And just imagine this. If you know Ric Flair, this is one of this instance of Ric Flair wrestled in his khakis and his dress shoes.
Yeah,
and a shirt off.
He was beat up backstage.
No, that's a classic.
He was missing in that match because he went against Arn Anderson and Brian Pillman. And it was believed that they betrayed Flair and they beat him up and they jumped him in the back and he asked Sting for help. They had the tag match at the pay-per-view. So Sting did the match handicap by himself. Flair comes out to a hero's welcome. Sting, who needs the tag, finally makes the tag. And then, of course, that's when he sucks Sting right in the mouth, like, got your
if you need a quick reference for that one, if you go and watch, I don't know if they still have it on the Peacock platform, but they have these shows called The Table for Three. And I think it was Sting, Steamboat, and Flair. I think if you see that one, they kind of highlighted what happened in that particular show, so you can kind of get a snippet of it if you really want to go back and watch that piece. But I continue on. Ron G, talk to the people.
I mean, yeah, I love these two chemistry they have, Becky and Lyra. I would like to see them fight again. I it'll be the third match on the main roster. It'll be the fourth match of all the matches, but it'll be the only third match on the main roster. So I wouldn't mind seeing it again. But at the ending, when Becky was telling her to hold her arm up to all sides and stuff like that, I thought I was waiting for Bailey music to hit.
That's what I was waiting for.
I was definitely waiting for Bailey music to hit. I thought, okay, she's gonna raise her arm up, and then Bailey music gonna hit right when the arm goes up, and so Lyra doesn't have to be humiliated in this moment. But it lasted longer than I thought it would, and she had to put the belt on her and all this other stuff. But to Lyra I'm kind of glad Bailey didn't come out, because this, like I said, BJ said, it added to Lyra's character and show her edge and show I'm just not going to take anything from anybody. Yeah, I'm gonna do what I said I was going to do.
That's it.
Yeah, I'm gonna stay to my word. And I said I'm gonna raise your hand if I lost, but you taking it too far, and this ain't what's happening right now. And I will get my Intercontinental title back.
You know, I want to add something. There's something I want to add that you said that reminded me about something that I'm glad didn't happen in the men's Money in the Bank. But when we get there, I'm just going to put that out there. I'm going to put it out because it's something that I thought was going to happen. I'm glad it didn't, because I think it would have been too much as well. However, do you think it's going to be instead of like, I'm thinking Evolution. If I'm thinking of one match, it might be Bailey and Becky. But do you think that now it's a triple threat? Because I remember that Lyra beat Bailey in a pretty good match on Raw as well, not too long ago.
Yeah, they kind of teased that a little bit when Bailey lost that Intercontinental title match against Lyra. So that could, and then they went on to win a whole tournament. What do you call it?
The tag team women's titles. Whoever got a title match in WrestleMania, they had a little tournament for that.
Yeah,
a gauntlet match.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Yeah, the gauntlet match. That's what I'm looking for. They went on to win that after that match. So that wasn't really fleshed out like people thought it would be. And then Bailey got hurt. Didn't even go to WrestleMania. And then Becky came out. So we'll see where that goes. It could be a triple threat, but I see a one-on-one happening. And then Lyra might go on to something else. Now Lyra might actually be in the Queen of the Ring tournament. So just because she went to the finals last year, so that very much can happen in this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
For Lyra.
Yeah.
I can see that.
That could be good. Kiwanis, do you think another match is warranted here, or do you think? As a matter of fact, let me ask you: did you see the post show at all?
I saw right up until Naomi gave her caution, and I passed out. That was
got it. Okay. I was
woman down after that completely.
so you saw because Becky came on right before that. So do you think what Becky said about the disrespect and all these types of things? Do you think another match is warranted here, or do you think this is one-on-one wise? Or do you think, because I would think Lyra would get a rematch, right? Because she beat her twice already. But do you think this is like, let's have it tomorrow on Raw? Or do you think this is more like Night of Champions?
I'd say probably Night of Champions. I think they can give it one more go.
Okay.
Then they go their separate ways. Lyra got things to do.
Well, my thing is with that though, and this is not, when there's a tie, I gotta have a tiebreaker. Like, so if Becky beats her again, that'd be 2-2.
Well, yeah, you can always come back to that match later. You know what? If they have a rematch, that rematch needs to be on Raw. Herb can get it out the way, let Becky win, and then that's what can pursue Lyra to do other ventures. Because then she'll be forced to go back of the line. So now she either got to climb the mountain to get back to the Intercontinental title, or take a new path to the World title, and then you could just revisit Lyra and Becky down the line at a SummerSlam or anything else, or Evolution, because Evolution is on July 13th. So you can come back to them even later. But if you're going to do that fourth match, just hurry up and do it so it can give someone something else to do until they get to that tiebreaker. Because, again, if Becky wins, you do it on Raw. If Lyra wins, then you do it at Evolution. Does that make sense? I kind of just said
Yeah, I got you too. I got you too. So when does I guess the question made for anybody? Then when does Bailey return?
Yeah, that's a good question because that was, I don't know.
Hmm.
Shoot.
Mhm.
She's not really
Eh,
hurt, is she?
no, I think she's good
No,
now. That's what I'm saying.
I think
That's
Okay.
why I thought she'd be returning that money in the bank. That would have been a great moment. But like I said, I'm glad it happened because it evolves Lyra a little bit. But it could be a Raw. Just you come back, Becky talking junk about she's the man, she about to hold everybody down, and Bailey saying, "You put me down, but I'm back up.
Hey.
I'm ready. I'm ready for you." You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? So it'd be something like that. She could interrupt her
Ooh.
promo on Raw, something like that. That's what I think.
So no, that's not a bad idea. So let's run the idea. Becky wins the next night. Let's say they have the
Mhm.
rematch. Becky wins. Becky is celebratory, and you know what? Lyra wants to give her respect because she probably beat her that clean. She sticks to stick her hand out, and that's when Becky hits her or whatnot, and she does like a dirty attack, and then Bailey comes out to save or something like that, and then that can start that program. In the midst of that program, you can have Lyra be like, "Listen, Bailey, I'm glad you came out to help, but I don't recall asking for your help. Because last time I
Oh.
asked for your help, you weren't there anyway to win the tag title. Quite
Uh,
frankly, I could do this on my own, so please stay out of my way as I go after my title." And Bailey be like, "Dude, what's your problem? Just trying to
Oh
do,"
goodness.
and it could be a
hey,
triple
book it,
threat.
book it, book it,
Yeah.
book it.
Come
Hey,
back soon now. You hear?
we call that the professor's lesson plan.
Blueprint.
I like it.
Hey, that's what we call it. Hey, for now we're gonna stamp that one. Professor's
Oh
lesson
yeah,
plan. That's gonna be a
There
fantasy
you
segment.
go.
booking. Okay, yeah,
There
fantasy
you
book is
go.
a lesson plan.
Yeah. Mm.
I like
Okay.
it.
Okay. I like that take. I like that take because I personally don't believe Lyra and Bailey should be like friends when she comes back. Why?
Yeah, right. Like, just why? I don't get that either.
Why?
I am.
Like what? Why are y'all so friends? Now Lyra's pissed off, right? Let's use that. I want my title back. Let's use that. Like I know I'm better than you, Becky. I proved it. I just
Mhm.
I let my emotions get the best of me, right?
Fuel.
You can go with that angle. You know what I'm saying? So and then you try to embarrass me afterwards.
Yeah, seriously. Like, I
you
can't
Mhm.
know?
defend myself.
Too
I
Yeah.
much.
held this title longer than you held it. I never had it.
Too
It
much.
doesn't matter. The point is, I held
Yeah.
it longer than you.
Hey, hey, that reminds me of when Kevin Owens, when Finn Balor won the undisputed title, and when him and Chris Jericho started like teaming up, he's like, and the next week it was like, you look at the longest reigning Universal Champion ever. He's like six
Oh.
days.
Dun, dun,
I mean, look, that's what's
dun.
true though, right?
It
Who else
So,
did
is.
that?
Yeah, it was.
hey,
It's a
that was the
Didn't
time.
truth.
Chelsea? Wait, didn't Chelsea Green do that for a while? Wasn't she calling herself the longest reigning women's U.S. champion?
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think so.
She was
One
like,
Yeah.
one
Yeah,
day, yeah, one day, yeah,
yeah, but
yeah,
she
yeah,
said
Mhm.
yeah,
she said
yeah.
I'm the youngest, I'm the oldest, I'm the longest reigning U.S. champion.
Hey, hey,
Not the
Oh,
all of the above.
all of
when
it.
you the first, you
Mm.
can, I like that. When you the first of the champion, you can say all of that.
hey.
Yeah.
It's the truth though. It's the truth though. But I gotta say something in
That's
transition,
clever.
talking about championships and those types of championships as well. The man's Money in the Bank match. Now, let me just start off with saying something that kind of happened towards the latter part of it. The latter part of it, right? But what I'm glad didn't happen because I was waiting for it to happen. When Seth's team, Bronson Reed and Braun Breaker came out there to kind of
Mhm.
fight with Solo, JC, and Jacob when they came out there, I was like, don't bring CM Punk out here because I think it would be too much. They got a lot going on right now. We don't need CM Punk to come out here to cost Seth it. Not that I was pushing for Seth to win, but I don't think that would have. I think these stars who are on the uprise right now had spots that they didn't need to get overshadowed by CM Punk. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
Okay.
CM
Disturbia.
Punk's a star. CM
Well,
Punk's a star.
let me ask you this question. I can understand the CM Punk, but Sami Zayn was going off on this whole tangent with Punk and whoever else had an ear about how important it was for Seth not to win. Should Sammy have been out there?
No, and let me tell you why. You know what? Yeah, yeah. Let me give you two ways. I'm gonna give you two reasons, right? And I'm gonna tell you why I'm looking at it this way. First, if he would have came out there, yes, and cost him that, then you go tomorrow on Raw, Karrion Kross. See, I told you, Sammy.
No.
Yeah.
I
Well,
Oh
told you,
Lord.
Sammy. I
well,
told you,
listen.
Sammy.
I never said Cross was wrong. I'm
Yeah,
starting to realize he was probably right anyway.
yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now that he didn't come back, let's see what he goes and do. Does he come out like let's say Seth starts off Raw tomorrow, which he probably will. talking about how he's money in the bank. Then Sammy comes out and say, I'm going to make sure that you don't cash in successfully. I'm going to make it my personal objective to make sure you doesn't. And he get all passionate like Sammy does. Get you behind him. I'm going to make this my personal thing that you don't do it. And then, maybe he goes back and revisits the conversation he had with CM Punk about needing him to win. Now that he didn't. Like, you let us down. Nah. Whatever he want to do with that, Because eventually, let's be honest, Seth, and again, another rubber match. Seth and Punk have not had a rubber match yet. And eventually, we know Roman Reigns is going to come back. So at that point, CM Punk and Roman and Seth Rollins is probably going to be over. So Punk's going to need another rivalry. Could it be Sami Zayn? I don't know. He's going to have to do something else because I'm thinking Roman and Seth at SummerSlam. Period.
Okay, Roman and Seth for the world title.
That'd be nice.
No, not title. No title.
Okay, all right. Well, to that point, I do think it probably should be Sammy and Punk. Because here's my thing. Sammy's kind of getting on my nerves. I don't understand his dynamic or what perspective he's coming from. Because he's talking about if Seth wins the championship, it's not going to be the way we know it. Like, what is it that Seth's going to do that's so dramatically horrible? I mean, I love go back and listen to the promo Seth did before his qualifying match, before he went into it, where he said, "Why are you people booing me and saying such horrible things? I have been the guy who's carried the show on my back, trying to prevent these part-time champions from ever holding the title. Now you boo me when a few minutes ago you were singing my song." Seth may be self-righteous, but he does have a point. He has been the guy who talks about the workhorse champion. He is the guy who is the workhorse of a champion. So I'm having a real hard time, and I mean a seriously hard time, since WrestleMania, trying to understand why Seth Rollins is a heel and he has a heel faction. How is it that he's a bad guy, and what is it that Sammy keeps talking about? I hope whatever Sammy's talking about, I hope Punk slaps the taste out of his mouth, or Seth, or someone, because Karrion Kross is right. He's being selfish. You know what I really think? Here's my hot take. I think Sami Zayn really doesn't want Seth to win the world title because he know he can't beat Seth if he's the world champion. Ooh. He would rather have almost anyone else win it because he probably feels he has a better chance. But remember when Seth was the world champ, Seth was almost unstoppable. It took Drew McIntyre 50 claymores and a tired and worn out Seth Rollins to finally for him to lose the title just for Drew to lose it in the cash-in. Seth is almost a machine of a wrestler when you look at it. So him winning the world title means he'll probably have a handcuff, especially when you have these two monsters behind him.
And I don't know if they call him a wise man anymore, but Ed Heyman,
Yeah.
So
Heyman doesn't interfere like that. He's not that type of manager that much, really. I mean, he did it at WrestleMania, but he doesn't do that all the time. He just reacts a lot. He reacts and motivates.
His only time of interference is like storytelling purposes. Because remember, he interfered in the Brock Lesnar Bobby Lashley match when Roman came in. He handed Roman the title. Like, he only does it for storyline purposes. He don't just do it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah, he don't do it all the time.
I'm gonna stir the part some more then on that one because I like the way it's going.
Let it cook.
Let's put some more seasoning on it, right? Let's put some pepper. You know what I'm saying? Because here's my thing. Why is Sammy complaining anyway? Is it because he sat under Roman for so long that he got tired of that? Because the man had a title for forever. Does he not want to? Does he want not to say that again? Right?
Yeah, because he had to live under that again.
Forgot about that.
He got to deal with that again. And he had to try to beat Roman. He couldn't beat Roman.
But then he also helped him out in War Games. This is why Sammy is full of it. This is why he's so full of it. That's why I can't stand Sami Zayn at this point.
I'm gonna add some more pepper. Get ready for some good seasoning, y'all.
I like Sami Zayn, but that's funny. I'm sorry.
Listen. I know why Sammy's pissed off. I think I got it.
Yeah.
I connect with his passion.
No. I beat Gunther at WrestleMania last year and nobody talking about it. And I'm still not getting the title shot.
I mean, yeah.
Well, you know what? Okay. You know what? That sounds like a Sami Zayn problem.
Hey, I'm just saying. Hey, like you said, Karrion Kross might have his number on that, right? You know what I'm saying? Sammy was a funny heel, especially when he like both times he's a heel and face a team with Kevin. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Sammy was a funny heel. So now to be passionate, I remember he's come down there and cut. I remember when he came out as a heel, Vince had him just coming out cutting promos weekly. He come out there and said something about maybe you should be cheering about the start of AEW. He said that on WWE
yeah.
TV.
They did. Yeah, that's when it first came out. Like y'all could have asked me anything. You
Whoa.
could even ask about AEW.
I am
Then when
done.
he said that, I popped.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So,
popped so hard when he said that.
so
Yeah.
maybe they're using all of these seasonings and all these flavorings to cook up something where it's because think about it. I mean, granted, I think he asked for time off of Mania. I get that, but he had his match with Kevin, which probably was his WrestleMania, Elimination Chamber, right? Which is definitely a candidate of match of the year. But what I'm saying is, all these different things, he keeps getting close. He keeps doing things for everybody else, but except for himself. Now, think about it. When Jey Uso
Yeah,
won the
that's
world
true.
title, the next night, why did Sami Zayn come out there before Jimmy Uso?
Yeah.
I had the vibe that Sammy was going to attack Jay. That's what I thought he was going to do. It was so awkward. He was
Yeah.
like, so you mean to tell me you want the world title, but now that Jay has it, you don't want it?
Yes.
You said you were going to be a world champion, and now that Jay has it, you're not saying anything.
So to that point, I want to address
Crickets.
that. So here's the thing. A lot of people thought Sammy is going to look.
Oh goodness.
I don't know. I don't know any way to say this. Sammy is a little B when it comes to the Samoan family. All right, he is their little lapdog. I don't care how you want to cut it. He just ain't going to go against them. Why was he the first person
Oh,
out? Because he
goodness.
really think he a bloodline member. That's why. Jimmy was probably on
Honorary.
his way out there, and Sammy probably hula kicked him out the way just so he could be the first person out. I'm telling you, man. He just really think he's a bloodline member. You saw that thing in Stephanie's corner. Who was there? Sammy.
Yeah.
Right? Like that's
But that's
why.
always been a thing, though. There's always been an honorary somebody there.
Okay. I hear you, but Sammy, look, there's one thing to be an honorary. There's another one you think you are just it. Like, this ain't honorary. This guy probably thought he came out the womb. It is in his blood at this point.
Not the Tony the Tiger.
Oh, it's great.
Oh goodness.
What do you think? What do you think, man? It's just like you've been chewing on a lot over there.
I don't know. I mean, Sami Zayn, he got to find his way. He don't want to go against who he think his family is. Like we just said, he don't want to go against them, even if it's to the point where the world title's on the line. It's not. He don't want to do that, but he also don't want Seth to get it because he got too much firepower behind him. And so that's why he came out there for Punk, saying he want Punk to win because I will go against you, but I'm not going against these other guys because I feel like I can't beat these guys.
I do feel like he could probably be. He probably thinks he can beat CM Punk, which he probably could. I really don't think he could beat Seth Rollins. I think even in his best of thoughts, he knows that he can't beat Seth Rollins. Gunther, he had to get Chad Gable and all sorts of help to even beat Gunther. So it wasn't. Seth is a whole different animal. Because, I mean, even Gunther lost to Seth, didn't he?
No, they haven't fought yet.
Okay.
That's true.
Cody beat him.
Yeah, Cody beat him. Yeah.
And Cody had never lost to Seth. So I don't know. It's a hierarchy thing. I don't know. Whatever. The point is.
But all his friends going up and getting these world championships, because Sammy was cool with Cody. And he went after Roman before Cody did. And Cody wished him luck or whatnot, but we all knew Sammy wasn't gonna win that match. Cody was the one to do it. And now his brother Jey Uso went up to get the world title, and he had to look at Jay like on that next night on Raw after Jay won. Look at him like, and Jay got it, and I still can't get it. And I don't want to go after Jay, but I'm looking at that world title. That's why he was looking at him like that.
Yeah, it was very awkward. It was awkward. Go back and watch it. It was very awkward.
Yeah.
Sammy believes in bros before gold.
Yeah.
Yeah, he does. He does.
He does.
Yeah, he does. Absolutely.
Hey.
Absolutely. He's loyal.
That might be a very interesting T-shirt. but
Sami Zayn.
Hey, but that's a hot take, ladies and gentlemen. That was a hot take here in the Champions Corner. He won it. He won it.
Yes, sir. Uh-huh.
What do you think about Jacob turning on Solo?
Oh man.
Jacob observed too much not to forget things. So We knew he was gonna spin back eventually. He did the "I love you" solo, and boost him up for a couple of minutes. That was literally a couple of minutes, and then come back like, yeah, like I was saying. So, I mean, you can't trust a Wolverine. I mean, I don't know what to tell him.
Listen,
Just
I would
keep
say
your eye
this.
open. That's it. All you can do just that's it.
I would just say I knew something was up when
They need to
Solo
put
said,
Naomi caution tape across the ring as the ad. That would I'm gonna leave that alone. WWE need to be doing it.
"Hey,
Yeah,
well, he got to do something right now because I
Prime
remember a couple
wear.
weeks ago he was like
Put
he
that
was like
caution tape up there.
he was
That's
like
it.
a couple weeks he was like um man, he's like, I love you Solo. He's like, man, he ain't said that in like
Mhm.
6 months.
yeah.
Yeah.
But last
Yeah.
night
You got all
he's like,
fuzzy
I hate you
inside.
Solo.
Mm-hmm.
And that's out there trending.
Oh
You know what I'm
wow.
saying? That's
Wow.
out there. I done seen it pop up on so many different things, man.
My heart. I'm
Now,
done.
I would agree with BJ. I didn't
Oh
think it was a big.
goodness.
I don't think it was the biggest moment as I expected it to be, but it was a big moment. I expected a little bit more from it, but hey,
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
okay.
The crowd
That was funny.
didn't pop like I thought they would. Yeah, that's what it was.
Mm.
Yeah.
But
So that's what I think. Go ahead, Ron.
yeah, the crowd didn't pop like I thought they would. But yeah, it's an important moment for their story and what it's leading to. Like I said, I think they're gonna fight by SummerSlam or at SummerSlam
Mhm.
for the U.S. title. And like I said, Damian Priest
Mm.
might be in there somewhere. We'll see. But Jacob went all in. He did a few moves, but then he had to put him through. He did some extra. He had to put him through the ladder. I was like, hey. I was like,
Yeah.
and that's why I kind of was surprised. But before that, I was surprised that Seth won the whole thing because Jacob was going in on Braun and Bronson. So I was like, dang, okay, I think, well, if he ain't got his two guys, Seth ain't winning. But then Seth,
My love.
he found his way.
Mm.
So, because at that point, I thought, okay, Seth and Solo are out. Our picks are out. I thought LA Knight was about to go up and get that. But, Seth, like I said, Seth is a machine. Like BJ was saying, Seth is a machine. And
Just a little.
he's arguably one of the best in the world. And
Yeah.
especially when he gets that world championship on his waist. It's a bunch of times I thought Seth was going to lose that title. But it took all the way up to WrestleMania. It took Drew McIntyre, digging deep in his bag to beat him.
Yeah.
And so, and that happened before this because Seth has accomplished a whole lot
Yeah, he has.
in his career, and one of the best Hall of Fame careers, and a first battle Hall of Famer. And so, Seth is tough to beat. And like I said, now he has, like I said, he calls it the power. It's proven that this group is in a prevalent place. I guess they're on the island of relevancy now. If you want to call it like that. I want to say that because they take shots at Roman Reigns all the time, so I had to add to it. But,
Well, real quick, I have a question. You mentioned how LA Knight, right? This is third Money in the Bank opportunity. LA Knight loses another Money in the Bank. Does this drop his cachet?
I don't think so because he didn't get pinned. And this type of match, it can't drop you if it's not happening specifically to you.
But do you think they ever pull the trigger on him winning? Like, is this ever in the cards for him?
I mean, no. I mean, for Money in the Bank, he don't have to win Money in the Bank. He can get it from another way. It took 5 tries for Naomi to get it. She tied for the most Money in the Bank appearances of all time. And so, if LA Knight get in a bunch more times, he can win it another Money in the Bank or find his way to the title another way. So I don't think it just diminishes LA Knight at all.
I would
especially,
say
especially with all the interference.
I would say that I put this in a bucket because I pay attention to, like, me personally. Why do they do these things? Like, why do they mention these things? Why would they say this is my third in a row? Right. So I put that in the bucket with again, you talk about Naomi having a 5th time, or you talk about Sheamus not winning the Intercontinental title right now, or you talk about how LA Knight was kind of in the same similar spot last year about giving him some type of title in general, and then he goes on to win the U.S. title. I wouldn't say it ruined him for this particular reason because we got King of the Ring coming up right now. I'm pretty sure he's going to be in the tournament. Not say he's going to win it, but I just always King of the Ring is coming back to what it used to be. Like the person who wins it gets a really good push on something. Now, did Gunther need it like that? Maybe not, because he was the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion and got anyone's world title. I get that, but somebody like LA Knight, this would be good for him, the King of the Ring, and go to SummerSlam to get a title shot, and which is his now champion right now, John Cena. Is that the match in SummerSlam? You know, I don't know.
Oh wow, hold on.
Wait a minute, what did you say was the match at SummerSlam?
I say if LA Knight wins King of the Ring, at that point, if he wins it, his champion would be John Cena. So that would be the match.
Oh man, hold on.
Well, so that's if he wins King of the Ring. Well, I got to see who's in the tournament.
Yeah, if he wins.
Because actually, I got Cody pegged for SummerSlam against John Cena.
Well, okay, we're having this discussion. I want to put this out here too. Cody pinned Cena last night. By definition, he already has earned a title shot, especially since he already has a rematch. He doesn't even need to win King of the Ring.
Yeah, you don't.
Well, watch this though. Why did he pin Cena?
Because Logan Paul was nowhere to be found to take the pin.
No.
Like he was supposed
what's the other reason? What's the other reason?
I'm sorry. Because R-Truth? Is that what you're gonna say?
Exactly. So my thing is
okay. Oh, well, I'm gonna get to the R-Truth thing when we get to it. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that to me sets up Night of Champions, John Cena and R-Truth for the title this time.
Oh yeah, okay, you could do that. Yeah, I can see that being the case because they could have that rematch at Capital Punishment. Because people seem to forget he had the title shot at Capital Punishment.
Yeah. And he's going back to that character that he was at that time, Ron Killings. He's going to be more serious. Yeah. And because we started looking on his face when he pulled off that mask. It's serious. like okay, for how you did me, I'm coming back serious against you. I'm trying to
not only that.
Yeah, I'm trying to be your fan and whatnot, get you back to the good side or whatever. But now I don't care because you did me wrong.
Gave Cena his first loss this year, other than the Royal Rumble, as far as pin to the shoulders.
Yeah.
So you know Cena gonna come back flipping for that. What did he say on Friday? Nobody's coming to save you. And then on Saturday, you know what I'm saying? We get Ron Killings back. I guess that's what we're gonna call him right now.
Yeah, they are.
You know what I'm saying? So
because they got a new shirt on WWE Shop, and that's what they said, Ron Killings.
Yeah, so now
nice.
I see Night of Champions, Ron Killings, John Cena this time for the title because it's Night of Champions, right? Cena probably goes over, I guess. I guess because I don't know if Cena would lose the title just that quickly, honestly. But and then maybe to your point, BJ Cody gets the title shot, but he said in the post show right now, I'm not looking for a rematch. I'm not going to cancel for that right now. I'm just happy to be back doing this, giving y'all what you want type of thing. That kind of talk, that kind of ambassador talk, right? But at the same time, we know, maybe they go at it as Saturday night's main event. I don't know. What is the plan? Because I'm thinking John Cena going to have to revisit maybe AJ Styles again, maybe CM Punk again. You know what I'm saying? Before he hangs it up. He already fought Randy Orton.
Hold on. He told you. Those are a number of appearances. Not matches, dates. All right. As far as you're concerned, John Cena may only have 3 matches under his belt.
Could be. But
so it's like I don't know. Do we have the time to go to the AJ and the CM Punks and the Adam Copelands? Can we rent him for the weekend? Just Adam Copeland? Maybe we should call AEW so he could just rent him for a moment.
That would be awesome if you could. But he said nobody's coming to save him, right? So but he said that. But here's my thing though. He said nobody's coming to save him. And he said that while Cody's already back. So who is he really talking about? Because that's not the first time he said that. So who is he really talking about? Nobody's coming to save you. Cody's already back now. And he said it again.
Yeah.
And what's this tension with him and Logan Paul?
Well, I don't know. I mean,
I thought they was already arguing that other night. So other SmackDown. So I knew that ain't gonna last.
Well, I don't. Even if that were to build to something, I don't know what the benefit of it was. It's like I'm still wondering what was the partnership of him and Logan Paul. What did that have to do with anything?
I mean,
Cena said, "I'm trying to teach you." That's what he said when they was pushing each other.
yeah.
That was like a high school fight back in the day when everybody standing around and the two people keep pushing each other, and somebody wait for somebody to throw the first blow.
Yeah.
That what it was. Yeah, he was like, "I'm trying to teach you." Because Cena, and then I want you to go back and watch that because Cena, he looked to the crowd like he wanted to be face again right there. He's like, "Oh, let's get him involved." You know what I'm saying? Like this guy, you know what? 2 months, this man can be face again.
So wait, so okay, let's just fast forward to that. I don't know, early speculation. What is the face turn? What
Well,
is
it's
the
already
face
there.
turn? Is it like him having to do something to do a face turn, or is it him admitting I was wrong? Does he say that? Like what is he's seen a face
No,
turn?
I was wrong. No, I know, no. Something has to happen to him. Something physically has to happen to him. You know, I'm thinking, I don't know if it's going to happen. Cody's mentioned the final boss when he came back, right? He mentioned the final boss offer still on the table, essentially, is what he said. So does Cody turn on Cena then and then join The Rock? That could happen. That's a foul. That's one way that could happen. Or does Logan Paul come back and cause? I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Does Logan Paul come back and cause him something? You
But
know,
what is my question? Like, what does that even mean? Joining the Rock? I don't know. See, now it's just okay. That goes down a whole different path.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have the
I,
answer to that right now, but I just say he'll be the Rock's guy. You
I
know,
know, but like, what does that mean? Like,
no,
I
I
don't.
want
Because
the Rock
Cena
don't even.
technically is the Rock's guy, and it's like, what does that even mean for Cena right now?
Yeah, I don't even want the Rock to
Is
be
he?
involved at this point.
Is
I
he?
don't. want-
Is he the Rock's guy though?
I don't know. I don't. He don't need to be involved with the Rock no more. Right now. Now with this story, let the Rock do something else. Because if he come in right now, it be throwing everything off. I believe. I
Yeah,
feel
it'd be a
like.
distraction.
Well, it's just okay, but it's like, what happened at Elimination Chamber? What was that all about? Like, that's still the thing. It bled into Mania to some degree, and now it's like,
Yeah.
even so, what does that mean? Like,
It should have been settled at Mania, but now that
But,
it
but
didn't, it's like you coming out and making up stuff. And because of what? Cena and Cody gonna switch places? I'm like, no, come on, man.
I don't know. I'm just throwing out options, you know, because if Cody was, because you know everybody's like just like Cena back in the day. Wait for Cody to turn here. Wait for Cody to turn here. Wait for Cena to turn here back in the day. Wait for Cena to turn here back in the day. You know what I'm saying? So that's the only thing I would say that could probably happen in that regard. Now, I believe down the road, I don't know why Cody would bring up the final boss offer again. And then on top of that, do you know Cody said same time he said this? He said, I talked to someone. They talked about how he was a champion, a great champion. And last night he said he talked to someone about what should he do coming back. He never mentioned their name. He just said that twice. I talked to someone.
well, I mean, you know, there's a lot of these Brandy Rhodes. I don't.
Go ahead on, man. Go ahead on. Go ahead on.
You know, he's
Don't do
friends
that.
with Ricky Starks. He's friends with Arn Anderson. This is the
that's
Nightmare family. I don't know.
I kind of think we were talking about Arn Anderson.
But why not the name?
Oh, because he could have been praying to God. I don't know.
But he could have been. Hey, all I'm saying.
I don't know. I get what
Twice.
you're saying. No, I get what you're saying. I'm just messing around.
Twice. You know what I'm saying? So why would he bring that up twice? Why is he giving all these? Why is he giving all these meal preps and not the meal right now?
No, I get what you're saying. But I guess my question is, are you implying that he is having private conversations with The Rock?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, let me go back to it. Let me tell you where it starts again with me. Let me take it back a little bit more. He said he took counsel from The Rock for WrestleMania 40, right? Before he brought him out. We all know what happened there.
Yeah,
We all know what happened there, right? Rock, no, we don't want Rock Roman. You know what I'm saying? You know, ironically, 10 years later, WrestleMania 30, Daniel Bryan, WrestleMania 40, Cody. You know what I'm saying? Same thing gonna happen. This is what we're gonna give you. No, we don't want that. You don't want that, right? Cool. So what I'm saying is, what is really that relationship? And what does he mean when he said, I'm just making my case, y'all. I'm just making my case.
Yeah.
What does that mean when he say, don't you ever break my heart again? And what does that also mean when he says, when I come back, me and your story just beginning?
I don't know. That's the problem, because Rock ain't there to help fulfill these stories. Those are really good questions. I don't know what he means, and I wish I knew, because it feels like it can build to something, but doggone it, it's hard to do it when the person who says these things don't show up.
Right. Rock is such an interesting character, but if you ain't around, what's the good of you being interested? I mean, what is it building to? I mean, yeah, you and Triple H love the slow roll, and y'all two ain't getting along, from what everybody say from backstage.
I don't believe that, but that's just another thing.
I mean, I don't know, but what is your storylines building to? You here one moment, then you're not here for the ending moment, and then we get Travis Scott. Like, what is this?
Yeah, that Mania 41, that was
Ruining
talk
wrestler.
About, man, if you ever had a balloon deflating sound to just go off at a moment, that was it.
Hey,
That was
you know what?
so deflating.
That brings me to the two hot topics there.
There we go.
From a fan perspective, right?
Yes.
And so from a fan perspective, ladies and gentlemen, fans perspective, right? Two hot topics. First of all, we confirmed that WrestleMania is going back to Vegas.
Oh,
Could that be the
yeah.
reason why?
I saw that.
Could that be the reason why? Because it was deflated in that regard. And two, there's a lot of talk right now. What Triple H said last night. You know, you doing the show? I don't remember. I'm paraphrasing. Just enjoying the show or something like that. I don't remember exactly what he said, but is that the reason? Is that the reason R-Truth's back, or was it a work? Now, apparently R-Truth put on social media that it wasn't a work.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Now, we recorded on this show some of us saying that they didn't believe it, that it was for real. So it's a lot of different things going on there, ladies and gentlemen. And on top of that, now let me get this straight. I've seen, although R-Truth, whatever happened, it did get a lot of backlash. But I'm gonna be honest with you, and I'm gonna say it. I've seen some backlashes on WWE before, and this was nowhere near to what I've seen before. One particular is when Roman won the Royal Rumble and went on to fight Brock Lesnar. When they wanted Daniel Bryan to win that, he got eliminated like 7 minutes into the match. And they was talking about cancel WWE Network. I mean, they went furious. You know what I'm saying? So this ain't nowhere near that. However, I just want to know what y'all think happened. Was it a work? Was it not a work? Well, I mean, somebody say something. Talk to me.
I think it's on the same level with what you was just talking about. To me, because everybody was talking about Truth. Like, we want him back, even beyond regular wrestling podcasts. And they was talking about R-Truth. So it's like, and then they had to end up bringing him back. And it had the same thing happened last year, saying we want Cody. And guess what? Cody finished his story. And so now we want Truth. We got Truth back. And this happened quicker. And a lot of reports are saying that decision was made in the last 72 hours. And so, yeah, Triple H is going to try to play it off because he can't say, oh, yeah, I was wrong. We were wrong. TKO don't know what they're talking about. And this is our business. And so, yeah, we brought him back for you. Yeah. We wanted y'all to get really behind him. This is how we're pushing R-Truth. Man, get out of here, bro.
You know, one thing I want to say before that happens again. Now, we probably all heard many different things. Like, I heard that the reason why the contract wasn't happening because of business reasons, they offered him less money. He decided not to take it. That's why they parted ways for the week or for the 3 days or whatever it was. I've heard that. You also heard it's kind of one of the cuts and things. But I would say this: if it was a work, I don't know why. I said this on the last show I was on. I don't think why would R-Truth put I got released from WWE on social media, especially after people got released from, like a month before or whatever it was.
Right.
So I don't think that part was a work for because I don't know why he would do that. Now, I'm sure some way down the road, y'all, when they do these WWE Legend show or whatever, they do all these shows they do on A&E and all that type of stuff. I'm sure the truth will come out about that. But in the meantime, this is what we had. You know what I'm saying? So we can go off what we now. I will say this, and the only thing I would say about Triple H is this: I've seen him answer questions like this before, and his response was very different. This time it was a little bit more. Yeah, okay, cool. Before it was like, well, this is what we do sometimes. This is part of the, unfortunately, this is on, that type of talk, right? But it's a little different this time. Now, I don't know what that means right now. We can all have our opinion on it, but I don't really know what that means right now. Now, why would R-Truth go and say it's not a work? Why would he say that? That's another question I had. Like, why would he need to say that? Didn't we mention on Ron? We was like, Tyler would put something like that on, like maybe a month later, or I don't know, something later, right? But why would he go on and say not at work, right? And why would they change the name from R2 to Ron? Like so many whys, right? I can imagine on Monday, the Greco gonna have a rant.
We'll see.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something will happen.
So that, 2 hot takes. Have at it. Let's talk about it. Whoever want to go first, let's go.
Well, okay. Well, Kiwanis, do you want to go?
Yeah, that's work, no work, we work. It's been all over the place. And we kept watching everything online, and he reporting stuff, and other people are just like, there's something to just ruin your week. Like, okay, we just starting off, just upside down. But yeah, I still don't know exactly, what they're doing, whether it's the contract negotiation or what. But I do like the even though small slight transition so far to his actual artists and name Ron Killings. I do like that. I just hope if they trying to navigate him a different way that how to explain it. It sticks. Whatever they're trying to do, I just hope it sticks. Cause yeah, so yeah, as our true supporters, we will act up and as they have seen. So I hope if they're trying to navigate him a different way, they do it the right way, the nice way I can put it. So yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so here's my point of view of it. Number one, it wasn't. I don't think it's a work. I want to go to Lonnie's point. You asked a question. Well, you mentioned how it didn't feel the same. Because, I mean, I'll admit, the crowds weren't as loud like a CM Punk chant or the heavy boos. But my opinion in that is twofold. Number one, different time because you didn't have another wrestling organization. Most of those fans are now AEW fans, so you don't hear their voices anymore. They're not in the building. And secondly, like Ron was saying, a lot of it is more so online nowadays. This is how fans do engage in their opinions and beliefs. It's just whether or not you can decipher the complaining fans to the actual fans who are genuinely not happy with the show. So I do think it had a large factor into that. Another reason why I do think fans had some effect on it was multiple reports. It wasn't just one report that came out that said R2 contract expired. It was multiple. If you get multiple, there has to be some validity, or else why would everyone just be saying this? I do feel like WWE made a mistake. They decided, okay, we'll renegotiate your deal. They probably offered them more money. I don't know. I'm speculating on that part. But another reason why I do think they brought him back was because if it was a story, why do it now? Like if Ron was coming back, R-Truth, Ron Killings, why do it in a match that had zero significance? Why not have him do this on a match that means something, much more of an impact? You do it now because you just don't want to. Okay, listen, brought him back, happy, so that way we don't have to make sure this gets bigger than it needs to. If they did the same thing for Carlito, I don't know. Maybe we see him Monday. I doubt it, but
no, unfortunately,
it was R-Truth, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think we'll see that. No offense to him, I like Carlito, but I don't think that'll be. I don't think that'll be the case.
So yeah, he definitely came back because of that reason. Here's one thing I do find weird. I find weird from some fans who says it was a work. It's like, are you taking power out of the fans' hands in that case? Like, fans should take credit for this. This should be a thing that lets us know that we have some sense of control. Just to say it's a work is to admit, oh well, we don't have any voice or opinion. We just need to shut up and be happy with whatever happens. I don't like that type of talk. That type of talk is just, that means you can put any garbage on and someone will be happy. No, don't get into that field. It wasn't a work. It was a fix. That's what it was. They made a mistake. They fixed it because the fans became vocal. They started taking over a couple of segments, some matches. Even in Worlds Collide, We Want Truth chants doing the Stephanie Valkyrie tag team match. So, you got to respect that. It was a legitimate fan wave as opposed to, oh, we're working you guys. No, you're not. You got worked. You worked yourselves into a shoot.
Hey, look, before Ron go, I would say this. I I've heard again to the point I made earlier. I've heard the "We Want Truth" chants. I just don't feel it was as strong in the audience as they were 10 years ago. And again, to Ron's point too, because I didn't see it because I didn't feel anything was hijacked. But to Ron's point, most of it was done online. I remember, I think BJ, you posted in our chat group. Um, I think when it was like, how they do their weekly, like who's showing up and that type of thing. Like I
Yeah,
think
all
Jay
the
Uso was
comments
showing up.
flooded.
And all the comments was "We Want Truth," and I think somebody was like, where were they? Tulsa? I don't remember.
Yeah,
They was in, yeah. He's like, Tulsa, you know what to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, that type of thing. And we heard a little bit, we saw signs, but I don't think, as a matter of fact, the most thing that was remembered for that night of that particular instance was when CM Punk said it off camera. How dare you say somebody's name that wasn't here? But then if you got it, because they should change CM Punk's name all the time. You know what I'm saying? But my personal opinion, I'm glad Truth back. I do think it was a mistake. My person as a fan to let him go. I understand business, I understand this, that, and other, but I'm glad Truth is back. I'm glad Truth back, but I want them to do something great with it, which I think they will be. Again, he got Cena again. I won't be surprised if it was Cena pushing back there to get him back too. I won't be surprised,
Well,
I
there
won't
was
be
a
surprised
rumor.
about that.
There was a rumor that R-Truth's name was on the chopping block, and the reason why they had the match at Saturday night's main event was Cena trying to convince upper management that Truth could still go, and he still has meaningful stories he can tell. So yeah, there was a possibility that Cena was pushing for him because again, that's how, according to some reports, that's how we got the Saturday night main event match. Cena's last attempt before he decided not to renew his contract.
Yeah,
Look,
and you can there's kind of a fan video or whatever, kind of seeing them hug backstage. It's like you can barely see it, but you can tell it's Cena like there in the R-Truth right there. Conversating and hugging and showing that they were cool, whatever. But yeah, I think they hijacked the show a little bit. Because during the whole pre-show, Wade Barrett could barely speak, and all with all the "We Want Truth" chants going on, and then they did it through multiple matches on the show. And then you heard the pop when Truth took the mask off.
yeah.
Yeah, I think the fans, like I say, they do have power. Everybody's got to speak up and say something.
Yeah.
And like I say, you can actually change some things. But my question with this, the reason Truth was let go because I guess they saving money or whatever, or they're trying to cut back on wrestlers because they got new wrestlers coming in. But now that Ron Killings is back, does someone else get let go?
Oh, whoa! What kind of deal is? Wow, that's actually a really good question. Oh, wow.
I'm just saying they cut him for a reason, but now that the fans want him back, and it was such a outrage online, and then before they brought him back, you can say it's a work all you want. I don't think it was. And so what else are they going to cut costs or cut a contract?
Real quick,
let me just say something.
Before you, I would like to see them spend some of the money. If I'm going to get ads on my ladders and tables,
yeah.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Lonnie.
No, I would just say if that's the case, I don't think that would be a good reason, to cut somebody. But on the other side of it, I think also, if they do get cut, at least they got some place to go now. Because obviously we're not the ones in control of that, but I think they have some place to go now. I think Matt Cardona said that you can live off your name, a WWE name, or you can go out and make more money. Essentially, I'm paraphrasing this list he did. But I don't think that's be the reason to cut somebody. Because they brought him back, right? I don't know where they are now because I know a lot of big businesses are coming into their Q1s. So they're kind of in the Q4 right now. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of that stuff can look, being a part, working where I work at, and y'all know I see that all the time. So you know what I'm saying? And Q1 starts like I think at the end of October. End of September. Sorry. So those things get looked at all the time. But point being, that's a very good point, RC. We want to hear what you think in the comments about that as well. I know Kiwanis, but she was doing her thing cheerleading up there. She said she woke the whole house up. So they probably sleeping right now. But I want to kind of close it out with this though. We have a pretty significant Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. A pretty significant Monday Night Raw. And then one question I have, Nikki Bella's back. We probably know why she's back, Evolution, but that's not what I want to ask. What's going to happen with Jay Uso and Gunther? Jay Uso is selling his injury on the post show. He's been
Yeah.
fighting everybody on the show. Does
Hmm.
Jay Uso? It's not going to finish it up today. Does Jay Uso lose the title tomorrow, or ready for my curveball? You
Okay.
ready?
Go ahead.
No, not cash in because that's
No.
obvious. That's obvious. Does Goldberg come back to set up his match with Gunther in Atlanta?
Now you want
Where's
to? If you do, I'm gonna be upset because now you want to come back.
Oh
You should have
goodness.
came back. Okay, whatever.
no?
You should have came back in the other match with Pat McAfee, but whatever.
Oh,
Okay.
we are not having that
I'm
discussion.
crying.
'Cause
We ain't gonna have discussion, but I'm saying now you want to come back.
Where is Raw taking place at?
Tomorrow is in Phoenix.
Yeah, Phoenix.
Goldberg don't live in Phoenix. He ain't going to Phoenix for this. No.
But he
Goldberg's not
said,
appearing.
but he said his last match is going to be somewhere in the South. They're going to be in Atlanta, where I think he lives in Texas right now. But he has a lot of history in Atlanta.
Okay, so I
Hmm.
guess Night of Champions. They're going to Saudi Arabia on the next show, right?
Correct.
Okay, so Goldberg probably will be there.
Mm.
Why you sound so sour about it, man? Come on, just answer. Come on, man. I said
Anybody,
so.
anybody want to see no Goldberg?
Yeah, that's because I ain't
Oh.
really enthused to see Goldberg, so you have to pardon me for hiding my enthusiasm for Goldberg.
Oh, okay. Well, does
But
Jay
no,
Uso
you
lose?
raised a good question though. It's a good question because we are coming close to Saudi Arabia. I can see him coming up. I don't want to see Jay lose the title, but I can see Goldberg enter. I can, but I can't. I cannot see Goldberg interfering. Like him and Gunther can come up with a reason to fight. What are you
Bad
doing
blood.
here? What you
Bad
got?
blood.
Oh my god! Why does it always go back to bad blood? It's like, dude, you had a whole year.
That's
You
what
gonna
we
wait
going
till
off of,
now?
though. That's what we have, though. That's what we have. That's why. That's the only interaction they have, right?
I know, but it's
You
just
know.
what's Goldberg's relation to Jay that he would help Jay, and what's Goldberg's relation to Pat? Like that's how I look at it as. I can see him having beef with Gunther, but I can also just see him coming up to Gunther and be like, "Dude, I got beef with you," as opposed to coming out and helping someone. Like, come on.
I don't know. I just threw it out there because I'm just wondering why to your point, Professor. I don't want to see Jay lose the title, but he's selling the injuries. Now, come on paper, that should look like a win for Gunther with that injuries, and after Jay having a heck of all these fights and getting involved with everybody for the last 3 weeks, he said it on the promo. You get yourself involved. You're trying to fight with your heart, not your head. You're making it very easy for me. So what if that's the case and he's selling it now? What Jay's gonna fight from the bottom and beat Gunther?
Oh my God, yeah, Jay is about to lose his title, ain't he? I was Jay. Oh
I am
man,
dead.
you
So
selling me
again-
on Jay losing? I tell you that much.
See, my question is then,
That's probably why he's gonna win.
does Goldberg come back? Or if it's not Goldberg, or if it's not a cash in, how does Jay walk out of Monday Night Raw as champion?
Count out.
Hey.
Count out.
Well-
and this is where Sami Zayn and CM Punk can get involved.
Man,
No, yeah, because Gunther said, you overextending yourself to help these people. And why wouldn't they help him back if he extended himself to help them? Because Jay been helping Sami and CM Punk all these weeks against Seth Rollins and whatnot. So I'm sure they will return the favor in some way.
no, you said the key word there, Ron. You said helping them against Seth. Outside of Seth, their eyes ain't going nowhere else, I think.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Yeah,
Like,
but
they look like
Seth could come out there and tease
Try
the
to
cash in,
Yep.
and they
that's
could
where they can stop
prevent
it.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
They
where
can stop that.
happen.
Yeah, they can stop that.
And then you know what happens? Do you know what happens? I'll tell you what happens. Once all that dust clears and you think it's all over, that's when Goldberg's stupid music hits and everyone loses their crap. And it's like,
You know
he
what?
comes out last. Cause,
You know what? I'm telling you right now. I'm telling you
All
right
that can
now.
happen.
If that happens, prepare for a text message in our group chat from me.
Oh my God.
Ah,
Where's
there
that
it
do
is.
not disturb?
There it is.
Oh,
I'm joking.
Hey, you'll see it eventually.
My Lord.
Right. You'll see.
my Lord.
No, seriously. I was like, wow. Okay, no, that's
I'm
fair. I
a.
can see Goldberg
That's a
showing up.
type.
I can see Goldberg showing up mainly because Night of Champions is coming up. And yeah, like you mentioned, boy, those Saudi people, they're gonna know who they want, and they love those old people. They love Goldberg. Well, people like Goldberg. Let me quit acting like people don't like him. He's still a popular
Yeah.
wrestler.
You go out there, get you a
Mm-hmm.
10-minute match, maybe, if that, maybe 7, including the entrance. And then you
Okay,
you know,
yeah.
you know, you're good to go. It's a retirement match. He's training for it.
Not the skedaddle.
Oh
You,
wait,
you
wait,
know.
hold
Oh,
on now,
good
hold
dude.
on now, hold on. Gunther got to win.
Oh yeah, he gonna have to win. Goldberg, yeah, absolutely. Because
Yeah,
why would you do that? You know.
yeah,
But
Goldberg's
but,
losing.
but
Okay.
on the all chance that we're not right about this, and that's not his opponent, I guess we have to wait and see.
Mm.
Mm.
You
I don't
know.
know what honestly. I don't know what Gunther does if he doesn't win the world title.
Yeah. Does he go back and go to King of the Ring and then try to do that again? I don't think they're gonna repeat that.
No,
No,
he already
no,
did that. No,
no,
he's gonna
That'd
be
be a
no.
fighting
little weird.
Goldberg at the King of the Ring, I guess.
Yeah, he
You know
fighting
what?
him over there. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Mm.
Oh yeah,
my
go.
thing is
Yeah.
this. I'm pretty sure on our next show we'll probably have a little bit more idea of what the tournament looks like for both King and Queen of the Ring. I'm sure we'll get our predictions at that point. Personally, I would love to see Drew if he's back, but hey, that's just my take on that. But if he's back, so but nonetheless, final thoughts before we call it a day. Anything from the weekend you want to wrap up on? Let's start with Ron G, then we go to Kiwanis, then we'll close it out with the professor.
Two pretty good shows. I'm happy with one of the winners of the Money in the Bank. I mean, but I understand why Seth got it. Uh, but either way, it's cool. That's what I mostly watched the show for. Both of those matches, Lyra and Becky was like I said, they always got great chemistry. Dom showing why he's the Intercontinental Champion, why he deserves the title right now, and Cody's and Jay, I thought was gonna win anyway because like I said, their chemistry is better than what Logan and Cena had. And so, but we just got to see the
Mm.
follow up and see if Cody will get a shot in the near future, or see who else. Because I don't know who else Cena could fight right now. Because me and BJ was trying to speak on it, like going through the roster, seeing who Cena could fight in these next couple months. But it's looking like slim pickings a little bit from the way all these people are talking. So we'll see what happens with that, and then I'm definitely going to hear from Ron Killings
Hmm.
on Raw. So
Mhm.
I'm looking forward to it.
Go ahead, Kiwanis.
Man. Yeah, I'm a Goldberg fan, so that last part was hilarious.
I'm so
That
sorry.
last part was hilarious. But yeah, I would have preferred if I don't know, they might surprise us, but I would have preferred go back go Jesus, Lord have mercy. Goldberg.
Mhm.
I would have preferred he would have came back a little eons ago, but ain't no telling with WWE. Ain't no telling. But yeah, it'll be interesting this week coming up with Raw and like you said, Jay Uso and seeing how he gonna defend the championship now. Everybody got they got their weight. They got their weight right on the side pocket waiting. They literally walk around carrying for real, for real. So that's gonna be interesting. But yeah, overall this weekend with Money in the Bank as well. It was overall it was good. It was good. So we got some new lineups and twists and turn they can do. So yeah, it was cool.
Awesome. Happy for Naomi. So congratulations to her.
Caution.
Again, Lyra and Becky, I thought put on another really good match. Worlds Collide was a little bit better than I thought. Not a big Lucha Libre fan, but the show's enjoyable, so I won't knock it. And other than that, I'm looking forward to seeing how we get to SummerSlam. The path is going to be pretty long, but before you know it, it'll
Mm.
be here, and then we'll be talking about it. So yeah,
Hmm.
that's it.
This has been also broadcast, sponsored by our website, www.championscornerpodcast.com.
Yay.
you know, you know,
Yes,
but
sir. Yes, sir.
and of course we have our merchandise shop at as well. The links is in
Get
the
your merch.
profile as well. So we are ready to get the merch, live like a champion. I want to say it was a pleasure today. I had so much fun talking with my brothers and sister about this past weekend because it was a jam packed
Hmm.
weekend, and we have so many things coming up. We have to get ready. We have Night of Champions coming up. We do have All In coming up. We do have Another Saturday night's main event, Evolution, SummerSlam. And we have so
Great.
many different things coming up. And on the week, and of course, the weekly programs between TNA and all these different things. So we have so much to talk about. And we thank you for tuning in with us. We thank you for us coming and showing our love for the wrestling business, which we all enjoy to talk about and give our opinions on it and things like that. So, but the question remains, ladies and gentlemen, does Goldberg come back tomorrow?
Look, that is a question.
Ooh,
Hey, hey,
but
hey.
stay
But
tuned.
you know, we love y'all. Thanks for rocking with us. Everyone have a good night. This has been the Champions Corner. Peace.
Good night, everybody.
Peace.